All right, it is Tuesday night in Tooney Town, and that can only mean one thing. It is time for the fastest rising pro wrestling live stream podcast on the internet today. It is time for Tooney Talk Wrestling. Folks, my name is Marvin, and I am the Movie Monster, and I am thrilled to welcome you guys back for another week of nonstop wrestling discussion. We have a lot to talk about this week, so it's funny. We had like no Dave Meltzer stuff last week. He was very quiet last week. He was actually pretty subdued, I guess. But man, oh man, did he come roaring back with a vengeance this week because, you know, his precious numbers were challenged and he had to lose his ever-loving mind. But, guys, I can't do it alone. I need the greatest team ever assembled in the world of wrestling media here. Better even than the New World Order. Better than the Four Horsemen. I need, you know who I need. It's the one and only, a.k.a. Dis. I see you've made the name change.
Yes, I'm back. How do you like that? A.k.a. Dis. I think that works. I sound like a rapper.
I think that's awesome. I actually really like that name.
I was trying to do it, just change my screen name on Twitter to that, but there's like an Aaron Cottis or something that has that, so I can't use it. So I have to keep the AEW disciplinary. But yeah, I like the A.K.A. I think, like I said, I sound like a rapper or a gangster. I'm cool.
Yeah, your pasty white ass is not passing for that anytime soon. And there he is.
Yeah, that's right. What the dealio? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Marv and Aka? I'm going to call him Aka from here on out.
Akadis.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Marv, we went viral this week.
Did we?
Well, me and Dis did. I don't know what you did, but
well, what did you guys do?
We tweeted.
Yeah, we actually got some decent posts going. I posted the thing about Big Justice getting choked out in the middle of the ring in AEW.
I did see you post that.
Yeah.
And you got a big reaction?
Got like 2 million, yeah.
Wow. Okay. And Awful, what did you do?
I existed. No, I tweeted out a what was it? What was my tweet? Oh yeah, the AJ Lee return.
Yeah.
And I just simply said you can thank Jack Perry for this one.
Well, you could, yeah. No, it's 100% thanks to Jack Perry that you were able to get this. And I don't know, who do we blame for Cody?
For Cody being there?
Blame?
Yeah, like who do we blame for Cody leaving? Is it Tony, I guess?
Yeah, Tony. That's Tony, man. I mean,
yeah.
I guess you could say Brandy
maybe.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's Brandy, but
you think Brandy got
time in the kitchen?
I think it was because. Well, I mean, I think it was because of the disrespect that Brandy was given. So I don't know which one you want to go with there, but
gotcha.
You know, seemed like she was very If you read between the lines, every time Cody talks about it, it seems like Brandy was the one who's being disrespected there. So.
Okay, disrespected.
Meanwhile, by the way,
she got a job that completely didn't suit her at all.
Yeah. But congratulations to Brandy and Cody, and take that racism, because another magical Rhodes baby has been born unto the world.
Yep, Brandy.
You mean another star child has come into the world?
Yes, another star child, another avatar of light that shall defeat the evils of racism has been born unto the world.
Right.
So
can't wait for that Rhodes to face Baby Oos. Although, wait, has Cody had any boys? Are they all girls?
They're all girls.
Wow.
Yeah, tell me about it. we used to always make that joke about Triple H that all he wants is a boy. and the cursed she-cow keeps spitting out girls.
That's the only reason that Triple H is making the women's division so strong, is because he needs somewhere for his daughters to work when they get older.
Well, to be fair, where he's going to work when he transfers his essence into one of them. Yeah. Takes over their body. I need a young Helmsley McMahon body. It's all part of the plan, guys. The first stage of the plan was the multi-year plan to oust Vince that started the night after the curtain call.
Started with one email.
You Kimmy says, "Where is Tony Atlas?" I'm assuming some women's shoe store somewhere. Or some horrible indie show. No, Kev, I think he's going to be here late. I know he's got Warren and Apollo tonight, so I wasn't rushing him. So we'll I'm sure see him when he gets here. So, guys, this is a show that is made for you and financed by you. We count on your generous super chats to keep the lights on around here. And so, we do take breaks to read your super chats in between each story. We do break for super chats of $50 or more. So if you super chat $50 or more, we stop whatever we're doing to talk about whatever it is you want to say. So let's get kicking here. We've got a couple super chats that have already hit the airwaves. CWJ128 for $5. His TKO stock price has nearly doubled in the last 16 months. I'm sure if AEW's 16 months was worth $2 billion, according to Dave Meltzer, it must be worth about $4 billion now, right? That is interesting. Has TKO really doubled?
Yeah.
The day AJ Lee showed up,
they went over $2 billion.
Oh, for the love of... Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it's one feeds the other, right?
Dude, wait till we get to those numbers, man. I know we have our thoughts about AJ and her return, but wait till you see these numbers, dude. It's insane.
John Williams for $4.99 says AEW is worth 5,000 floppy gajillion dollars. That'll be $14.99, please. It's pretty much what he does. Virginia Sharp says, I had a line by Dutch Glomgold to say, but I can't figure out why YouTube keeps rejecting it. Oh, and I can't believe I didn't have this queued up.
Glomgold! 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 Glomgold!
Arthur Jennings just sent in a $10 Australian super chat with nothing attached. Arthur, if you just meant to send in the $10, then we appreciate it. But if you wanted to say something, just say it in the chat. Disc, keep an eye out for it. If it pops up, just put a star on it for me, and we can we'll read whatever he needed to say. So John Williams for $199 says, "Dis is a rapper. Lock the doors." John Williams for $4.99 also says Cody couldn't tolerate hate toward the woman who ended racism. That is correct. That is correct. He could not. And JJ Gosling for £2 sterling, that's proper money, says, so he's going from Triple H to Double X, apparently.
Chromosome humor. I get it.
Yes. I like it. Okay, so let's I guess you know what, let's get to the elephant in the room right away. The return of AJ Lee. I mean, we all saw it coming, but look at this, guys. 13.5 million views on X for her big return, and I have to hand it, I gotta hand it to WWE on this one, because I have never cared about AJ Lee ever for a solitary second in my entire life. And I got goosebumps from her return.
Yeah, I did too. You know, I mean, there is something, and I think it's part of me getting older too, but there is something about seeing people that legitimately seem happy and seem to be doing something to enjoy themselves that makes me have that reaction. So that might be part of it, because they looked real legit in their reactions on Friday. Like CM Punk looked like I've never seen that man happier in his entire life than when he's watching AJ Styles, AJ Lee, skipping around the ring. And
same with AJ Styles, he gets the same look.
But I gotta say, AJ was in fantastic shape, dude. Could you
that girl's got abs for she has spent the last 10 years doing sit-ups and nothing else.
Yeah, she looks amazing for 38 now. I mean, come on. Is that over the hill?
Is that over the hill for you?
No, but for wrestlers, typically, I mean, women wrestlers haven't been going to 38 years old in the past.
Have they not?
Not real. No, they usually only get about like 10 years in them. Like Natty was.
Man. The fabulous Moolah was in her 70s, but
how old is Trish?
What a looker too. No, but the same. Now it's starting to change. Now you're getting the Natties, you're getting the Charlottes, you're getting the ones that have the longer careers. But forever,
Trish Stratus and Lita. But I guess they're not full time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and Lita's Lita. Lita looked terrible on her last return. She looked
Lita looked terrible.
Like Nikki Bella bad. So
by the way, did you guys see the video that's been going around? I mean, it's an old video that everyone's seen already. of AJ Lee meeting Lita when she was a kid and like just crying like hysterically while meeting her.
Oh, yeah.
And the caption though that somebody put on it was CM Punk dated one and married the other.
No, there was a comic that went around back in the day. Apparently somebody might have gotten fired over it. That was the joke, where it showed a picture of Lita and AJ meeting when they were kids, and then it showed a picture of AJ on top of CM Punk when she was an adult, saying like "Call me Lita" or something like that.
Oh, jeez.
I guess because the girl hasn't been there in 10 goddamn years, you know, the excitement level is there. But I'm on the same train as you are, Marv. It's wait and see. Let's see what this girl can bring to the table. How long is she going to be here for? Is she going to just middle around right after this program with Becky Lynch and, you know, off to NXT in the next few weeks to wrestle every one of her fans in NXT? Because I'm sure Roxanne would love to get a piece of her.
Yeah, but Roxanne's been on Raw for 2 months, awful. So I don't think
all right, well, Roxanne and
AJ was on Raw. AJ was on Raw this past week, so
yeah,
there you go.
They said, okay, I don't know where this report comes from. I don't know whether to believe it. I know that right after AJ returned, Dr. Chris Featherbottom, or whatever his name is, posted on Twitter, and it's like, it's a full-time contract. I don't know, Dr. Chris Featherbottom. I don't know who that dude is, but he's supposed to be he works with one of the sites, and he posted, it's a full-time contract. And I was like, oh, come on, I can't believe it's a full-time contract. But then every other like wrestling purists and all those wrestle ops, all those guys started saying it was a full-time contract. I don't know if they're just copying off him and believing him, or if there's actually a report, you know. But
here's the thing. I will say, I thought that the return was very well done. There was one element of the return that I did not want. It didn't ruin it in any way, shape, or form, but what?
You're really quiet. Very, very quiet.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Now we can, yes.
Okay. The fact that Becky sold for her like she was Satan herself that just crawled out of a hellmouth on the floor in front of her. I'm like, bitch, you have fought Ronda Rousey, and this 98-pound girl skipping to the ring has you shitting your pants?
Marv, you've got to match. Becky Lynch has got to match the excitement.
Yeah,
I know
of the crowd at that.
But you know what? Like, I think it would be if she had just looked surprised and then been come on, and then AJ got in and kicked her ass. That would have been one thing. But she looked terrified. She looked like the Hydra of Hades just descended from on high and spat fire from its 8 heads down into the ring at her.
I love Becky's work recently. I think, in my opinion, this is some of the best work Becky has ever done as this heel. The whole, it's not just me saying it, other people are saying it, Sports Illustrated saying it, cracks me up every time she does it. And the overselling and the ramming of CM Punk, you know, when she was in the ring with him.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. I know a lot of people don't like Seth, right? Although it seems like Seth is kind of gaining some more support these past few weeks. But yeah, I think their heel work is they're not afraid to actually seem scared. They're not afraid to back down off people. They're not, that I appreciate that. You don't see that a lot in heels. Every heel wants to be Mr. Badass, and you can't have every heel be a big badass. You have to have some that are kind of.
Marv wanted Becky Lynch to square up, be like Brock Lesnar.
I'm all for cowardly heels, and I'm all for, like, after AJ knocks her on her ass, she powders out and then acts scared. But like an 80-pound girl, every time I mention this, she gets lighter for some reason. Like an 80-pound girl skipped to the ring, and your spirit left your body with fright. Like, that is what I don't understand.
Yeah. Maybe it was a shot at Ronda because of what Ronda said earlier in the week, where Ronda's like...
Well, we'll get to Ronda.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Every time Ronda opens her mouth, a new breed of crazy comes out of it. But she is like the female Gary Busey, motto to me. But so AJ's return was great. And then I watched... and then I was really impressed with her promo on Raw last night, because she managed to take a really amazing return and ruin it in 10 minutes. My God, was that promo bad?
Once she started interacting with Becky, it was fine. But when she was in the ring by herself, she started off good. I liked the part where she started off by introducing herself. She said, "I am AJ Lee." Yeah. That part, I really like that because I think
I like the "I'm your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler" thing. I thought that was fun.
I'm the reason your millennial parents all went crazy on Friday. Like, I like that because so many returns miss that now. Like, they don't explain who they are. You're just expected to know. So the fact that she actually came out and explained who she was great. I'll give it. I'm kind of with awful on this. I'll give it a wait and see. If this was just a one time, I am returning. Let's get this out of my system and let's move on to the storylines. Great. But if her gimmick becomes I went to therapy, I have no interest in it.
Well, and so by the way, that's the other thing. The crazy is my superpower thing. I'm like, guys, can we read the room on like the world right now?
Yeah.
Where like crazy people are doing horrible, violent things. Like, maybe don't go out there and tell mentally unbalanced people that crazy is their superpower.
Like, I like how WWE is supposed to like read the room of the entire goddamn planet. Listen, that book was written years ago.
Of course it was, but they don't have to make it her catchphrase. Michael Cole screamed it while she was in the ring. And I think that everyone should go to therapy. I go to therapy. It's a great thing, but I'm just saying, don't feed it like tell people you can get help is one good thing, but saying crazy is my superpower on TV, I don't know, man.
I like it. I got no problem with that.
Okay.
Now, considering what was going on in the last few days, yes, I can kind of understand a little being uptight about it. But other than that, I mean, what can you do? You know what? Crazy is her superpower. Just like
I was kind of using the crazy thing to justify why Becky was so afraid of her in my mind a little bit when I was trying to justify it. I was like, okay, well, if she's insane. Then an insane bitch gonna come in there and bite your nose off. Ronda Rousey's just gonna tweak your arm.
And actually, Marv, I can't believe this. I think you sold me on the promo actually through this because I didn't even connect it to her previous character of being crazy. Like I was just thinking like, oh, she's therapy coded now, so she's going to come in and talk about therapy. But when you think about it, the idea is that she was crazy back then. Now she's even more dangerous because now she's gone through therapy and she can know how to use it. Like I said, as long as it doesn't become she's coming out and talking about like therapy every week, I'll be okay with it. I don't need
Listen,
there's enough YouTubers.
I'm telling you, man, we are a few weeks away from her coming out with slogans on t-shirts for social causes, like CM Punk. Like it's gonna happen. But dude, I looked at I watched that promo on YouTube and I was like, let me look at the comments to see if anybody else is saying the same thing as me. Dude, the comments on this video were out of control. It was like, this promo is going to save so many lives. I was like, whose life did she just save?
Yeah, that part, like, that part's nuts.
Lives.
But I think
do you think there was one person out there sitting on their couch who is against the idea of therapy, who heard this 80-pound girl say go to therapy and was like, you know what? She's right. It's time.
They were just about to kick the chair from underneath them, and then the AJ Lee promo came up.
Yes, it can get better. Like
here's what AJ Lee has. AJ Lee
I got what you meant by that.
AJ Lee has an army of like what would probably be, I guess, around 18-year-old girls now who haven't watched wrestling in a decade, who only watched for AJ Lee and could very possibly come back. And that could be a good thing or a bad, because I know my niece called me out of nowhere and said, I heard AJ Lee came back. Did AJ Lee come back? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, can you send it to me? So I'm like, yeah, she's 18 years old now, but she loved AJ Lee back then.
Said the word mansplaining.
I know. That was fun. That was funny. No, it
wasn't. 2015.
But I mean, if WWE can get that group of people to actually watch again, this could be a bigger get. It's like CM Punk. CM Punk has his own fans outside of WWE. that weren't watching WWE when CM Punk was there and came in when he came back. And I think AJ might have that too, you know?
Oh, come on.
I do. I think, I don't know if
you,
they'll stick around.
You think that when AJ Lee got released and they said, we wish her well in her future endeavors 10 years ago, there was an army of people that went, that's it for me.
No, I don't think it was.
And they woke up from their stone sleep. Like the savior has returned. We must go back to wrestling.
I don't think it was instantaneous, but I like I said, I know from personal experience. My niece watched it and she kept watching it for a couple months after AJ left, and then she just stopped because they had the hope that Paige was going to be AJ, but Paige wasn't AJ. You know, that kind of thing.
She was better.
So yeah, well. Paige is better as a wrestler, but I don't think her character work was as good as AJ. I think
we're looking at AJ with some rose-colored lenses right now. I remember. You remember Marv. You remember Max. Oops, Max. Sorry,
Max.
Aka. Yeah. Listen. Yeah. Barely born. But AJ was just serviceable. I don't remember her like knocking anything over, you know, as far as like crowd reactions or anything, or having any storylines that blew the lid off of. Talk to me.
That's wrong. No, because the storyline with her and Daniel Bryan, dude, that was the biggest thing in the company at the time. And then her and CM Punk, and then the three-way between her and CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, and then the Kane stuff. That was like the top storyline in the company.
It was. This is right. Hold on, guys. 1 second.
Okay, so she was there.
Evan Apollo.
All right. So did I miss a bunch of old men not understanding why teen girls like AJ?
Nope, I was different.
Yeah, you did.
I said
you
they
did,
do.
Kev.
No,
okay.
I said she had
old angry man here.
I said she had one of the greatest returns in wrestling history, and then ruined it in 10 minutes with a terrible promo. This last night on Raw. That promo was awful.
I think, and I didn't say this before, but I did tell this to Mark privately. I think that promo was aimed, it hit the people it was aimed to hit. The people that they were trying to get with that promo are the people that might tune in to see AJ Lee again. They're the ones who are going to want to hear that. And it probably worked really well for them, and they probably loved it. That's what I think. So
that promo got good when Becky came out.
It got great when Becky came out.
Becky cut the promo of her life last night.
I would say, listen, Becky is on a totally different level. Becky's doing some of the best mic work she's done in her entire career. Becky is the female attraction. She has, as far as I'm concerned, she's ascended. Becky is at the point where you have to start bringing in order to get the best out of her. You're going to have to start bringing in people for these big type matches because there's no one on that roster that's on her level right now. She can have a shitty match here or there, but no one remembers people just remember the finish, and they only remember your promos. No one gives a shit about the wrestling.
Apparently, it was pitched really heavily for Becky to say, "I feared for my life" on Monday.
That would have won me completely. I would have been like, "Yes, I want to see this match now." I also didn't like AJ squaring up to Seth like he's not going to hit her.
Well, Becky squared up to Punk
because he's not going to hit her.
Yeah,
Seth would.
I don't know. In WWE, I think you always have to have the assumption that men aren't going to hit women. You know,
this is the WWE, not some garbage tier indie.
Thank you. A lot of people were like, "Why didn't Punk kick Becky Lynch's ass last week?"
Okay,
because it wouldn't have worked.
The two sides of that argument drove me crazy last week. Why didn't Punk kick Becky's ass crowd, and the would it kill him to sell for her? I was like, no, he played that perfectly.
Right.
Apparently, you've never been in an argument with a woman before.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Now, if you're Tony Soprano, you're getting hit back.
Tony Soprano never hit a woman in that show.
No, he just killed them.
Yeah, he killed them.
What woman did he kill in that show?
He smacked the girl from Sicily.
Yeah, and did he? His girlfriend. He killed his girlfriend, didn't he?
Yeah.
He didn't kill.
Yep.
No, he didn't kill her.
He had her killed.
No, he didn't.
Did he kill Adriana?
No, Silvio killed Adriana, but that was because she was a rat. Like Tony, Tony never like raised his hand to Carmella.
Okay.
Even when Carmella was like throwing things at him and like hitting him, I don't think he ever actually hit her.
Hit her. He hit Carmella. I think that's why she rolled for a bit.
No, I don't think.
Remember
so.
he had to move out the house.
Watched it. I don't.
Okay.
But that was because.
Okay, sorry,
guys, we're gonna stop
we need
right
to get
now.
Jamie Lynn Sigler in here.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna stop right now. We're gonna go back and watch all of Sopranos. We'll catch you back next week.
Oh, you know what? Mad Mage is right. He did hit one of his Gumas. I think she hit him and then he hit back. Yeah, which is not a
stripper,
thing.
right? Yeah.
Not the stripper.
One,
no, I think
she was a whore. B, she was a whore.
So my wife and I just watched all the Sopranos, and she asks me to say the word "hua" all the time. She's just like, "What was she?" I was like, "Hua." She thought that was the funniest thing because they all say it. Because Christopher Pauly and Ralph all say it like that.
You know what she didn't find funny? What is this? The city dump?
I did say that the other day. Like our kitchen table becomes a catch-all of like all this stuff, and I hate it. So the other day I walked by, I said, "What is this? The city dump?"
So Jay Evans said he tossed her against the wall and then he punched the wall. Is what happened.
Yes, that's it.
That's
it. Yep. Okay. All right. Now we've got that cleared up. We can get back to wrestling. Look, Chef Eddie just says this: don't talk to Sopranos with an Italian. It's like their religion. This is true. But so my thing, is if they were bringing AJ in just for like this feud, that's great. If she's going to stick around for like a full-time run, I'm like, why do we need this when we have NXT roster on the way up? Why do we need to bring
Marv's gone again. Yeah, Marv's gone again.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
There you go.
Am I here? Am I here now?
AM.
Am I back now?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I was just saying, like, if she's just here for this storyline and then she's going to bounce back out, that's cool. If they're going to put her back on the road full time, we have got the most amazing NXT women's division ready to come up. Can we stop bringing back people from the butterfly belt?
Shut up! Wow! Oh my gosh! Don't bring in the draw because we want to see Sol Bruca. Shut up!
She will be a draw for this one. She will be the draw for this one match, and then once everyone is used to her being there, that will be it. Nikki Bella is still on weekly television right now.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, dude. The crowd has been chanting for AJ Lee since CM Punk has come back. Yeah. The day CM Punk came back, you're going to bring her in. You're going to bring her in for one show, and then
they did the same thing with R-Truth, by the way.
One show. I said storyline. Keep her through Mania or whatever, and then that's once the storyline's done, then you don't have to stick around.
You know when you cut her? When she stops selling T-shirts. That's when you cut her.
All right, so in 6 months.
She is if she stops selling in 6 months, sure. But that woman is a draw. And in this company right now, you can't. I'm sorry, you can't bring up.
It's not a draw for you. You are an old man.
Right. Yes,
accept it. You're an old man,
and
that's why you don't like what everybody else does. It's not for you. Learn.
I said the return was fantastic. The promo sucked.
Because you're not 8 years old, okay?
I'm sorry. It drives me crazy all the time when it's like they're talking about, they're pushing CM Punk and someone's like, I don't think Tony D'Angelo's getting enough TV time. It's like, shut up, dude. There's
a major difference between CM Punk. I'm saying you use AJ the way you should be using AJ the way you use Trish. You bring her in for a big match and then she goes away.
Well, that's
doesn't have to be there every single week.
Yeah, I don't think she's going.
Punk is hardly there every single week. She's not going to be there every week.
There was a Nikki Bella Asuka match on Raw last night, and I'm like, why are we doing this?
Because she's a draw.
No. I will
you need to stop it right there, Kev.
I will take the AJ one. I will take the AJ one. You are not going to come onto my show and claim that Madam Butterfly is a fucking draw.
I'm about to run you something. You're spitting bullshit. The Bellas had 2 fucking shows on the E Network.
The Bellas, 2 of them.
You're still a Bella.
Nobody wants John Cena's cast off by herself.
So now she's just Radagweez, and there's no draw. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Look at the match she just had with Becky. Look at that match.
On the
She's done that's been any good since she has come back.
And change how they do reality TV. Stop fucking ignoring the truth. You don't have to like her. Is she the drizzling shits now that she doesn't have a bunch of roids pumped through her fucking body? Yeah, but who gives a shit?
She had
because
roids?
there's a bunch of girls out there still wearing Bella shirts. And I can't wear them because her sister isn't there. They're putting the fucking thing on and they're showing to the fucking shows. This ain't that hard.
All right, let's start looking at the quarter-hour breakdowns and let's see how her segments.
Oh my God!
Let's see how her matches go.
Football was what are we? Are we really gonna fucking jerk off and be like, oh, Monday night?
Calling
we're doing
WrestleNomics.
this thing.
Calling WrestleNomics.
You get riled up because
fucking TV for the last years.
Calling some X error.
Oh my God! What you stand fucking delusion bullshit are we about to fucking go down on? Holy fucking shit! I don't give a fuck about the fucking quarter hours. Monday Night Raw and Nitro together when they were doing fucking 10 million people apiece still could not even touch Monday Night Football's dick. Together!
God, calm the fuck down when someone has an opinion that differs from yours.
Holy fucking shit! Because you're wrong, motherfucker! You're wrong!
All right, fine. If you want to sit through Nikki Bella matches, you be my guest. When we do the live streams, we'll all bow out, and then you can call the glory that is the Nikki Bella match that you're watching. You can sit there and jack it while you watch the greatness that is the Soul Bella that has descended from the heaven of wrestling to grace the fan base with her presence. Please do that.
Oh, so the Nikki Bella Asuka match last night wasn't good. Okay, Dave. I see what you're saying. I see what you're putting out, Dave.
The match, to be fair, I didn't watch it. I saw it. I turned it off.
Oh, so you are Dave. Cool. Full Dave mode.
Now you've gone too far.
Oh, by the way, Chris Cotter, I know
that's Marv for you.
I know I agree with you. What Apollo's saying is hilarious and it's making me laugh. But this is the same stuff I say to you every week on Mole's account, and you're like, so shut up. I was looking up. Well, interesting. I went to look up Bella podcast numbers because that's what people don't think about right now. Is that the Bellas are like big time lady podcasters now, and I can't find any numbers on them. But they're on Sirius. They're everywhere. It's nauseating that people still like the Bellas. It is nauseating. But they still like the Bellas for some reason. And I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
In the era of the women's division, I don't understand why people are like, we need the Butterfly Girls back. We need all the Butterfly Girls back. Like,
I just looked up the quarter hours for Nikki Bella.
Well, it was on Raw, so there was no quarter hour.
Yeah, there were no quarter hours. You're lying. Awful.
Damn, I couldn't land the joke. All right, forget it.
It's on Netflix.
So here's the main point we wanted to make here. AJ Lee's return, 13.5 million views. Huge. Brock Lesnar's return, 15.7 million views.
Now that's over the last month, but still.
Yes.
It's still, yes.
Riho's return, 246,000 views.
This is the reason I bring Riho into it is because all the sickos all week were like, "Oh, you got AJ Lee? Well, we got Riho.
Who cares about AJ? We got Riho."
Did you actually see the segment? Because
with Riho?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
So I sat down. I put it on Max because I wanted to be part of the millions and millions who watched on Max. And boring Sasha match.
Talk us through it.
This same old boring bullshit that Sasha does every. I actually couldn't even tell you who she wrestled. Nameless, faceless AEW girl who won't be on TV for another 7 months. And then this frail child climbs the top rope and does a double stomp to my bewilderment. I'm like, oh, wait, is that the little Japanese girl who comes out to get beat up every 7 months and then goes away? And we have to pretend like it's a big deal because we hit the it's month number 7. She's got to be back on TV. She was the first champion or whatever nonsense I don't even know for sure.
Someone once said that she was the 9-year-old that Kenny Omega had the match with, and I believed it.
Yeah, Jim Cornette said that in one of his earlier podcasts that this is
I
why
had to look
Kenny
up if
Omega.
it was true. I had to
Yeah.
look up if it was true that she was actually the 9-year-old from all those years ago, because I would have bought it.
Oh yeah, there you go, Kev. It was Alex Windsor. The nameless woman was Miss Will Ospreay. That's who Mercedes fought last week.
Oh, okay.
Did she win?
No,
I
I
would-
would. She wrestled in the 80s. That don't work for me, brotherette.
And speaking of which,
this was what they're
how
saying.
long
was
are we
their
going to be
answer
watching
AJ.
anything on HBO Max anyway from AEW?
Oh yeah,
That's a good point, Awful, because it was announced that live sports will be removed from HBO Max when the split happens. They're going to spin off into their own, like, I guess whatever the name of the new company, like, sports is going to be, like Discovery or whatever.
Right.
And once that happens, I mean, come on, like, you were lucky because you got the people that are there to watch Batman and to watch. Honestly, it's the same thing with watching WWE on ESPN. You're not going to get the follow through of the people that are there for regular entertainment. You're just going to get people that just want sports.
Yeah. Well,
and I don't know how many AEW fans like other sports.
well, considering the fact that right now it's all a mess, because I loved how AEW fans for a while completely forgot that they already said they were going to charge money for AEW pay-per-views, because then like a week before the announcement they're like, they were all getting mad about the ESPN deal and saying, wait till you see what they do with Max, and then you get $10 off of your pay-per-view a month. You still end up paying more than it costs for the pay-per-view with your Max subscription, because you end up paying like $52 or something like that. So yeah, you get $10 off a month if you are signed up for Max, and who knows what that's going to be when they go over to TNT Sports or whatever that is.
To piggyback off of Marv's point in the chat, it would be devastating if AEW was not considered a live sport.
Yeah. Some people are trying to say that it's not a live sport. I'm like, there's no universe where it's not a live sport. Yeah, HBO Max doesn't have. Do they have other live programming other than sports? Because I don't think they do.
Oh no, not other than sports. No,
other than sports. I'm saying live sports is the only thing live they have. It's the only simulcast that they have. Like even things like The Gilded Age or The Last of Us, like they go up on demand when they go up on HBO or when they go live on HBO, but it's not a simulcast. Right. It's not a live. It's not a live stream. And they do that with the sports, from as far as I know.
And I understand, as being pointed out in the chat, that internally WBD doesn't view them as. The thing is, though, is that they set up a pay system. They're not going to only have that pay system work for one thing on the Max app. They're going to take the thing that you pay for and move it to its own thing, where they're going to have other things that you have to pay for, like boxing and stuff like that. Also, internationally, I believe it's already under the TNT Sports banner, correct? Because it's on like TNT Sports in Europe or something. That's what it's under already. So if they are just kind of going to apply that TNT Sports banner to North America when they do the app, which would make the most sense, then that's where it would end up, I would imagine.
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, it's just amazing that like every time that they get on their high horse, you know what? Before we get to super chats, I wanted to play a little something from Eric Bischoff about AEW fans and his thoughts on them. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but I saw this and I was like, holy crap. Because Eric Bischoff goes completely ballistic on these people. Hold on, let's pull that up. Here we go.
I can't even describe to you how irrelevant anything that has to do with AEW really is to me. But I do like screwing with their ridiculously stupid, willfully ignorant fan base who just absolutely collapse and overreact to anything that is said about AEW.
Awful, I didn't know you were Eric Bischoff. This sounds like it's coming directly from Awful.
They are the lowest of low. They're the low-hanging fruit that's so low-hanging to the ground, the fruit's starting to rot on the vine. That's the typical online AEW fan base, and collectively the dumbest group of people I think I've ever been exposed to. Right? So it's fun.
This is a burial.
Oh my goodness!
To tweak them because they're so easily tweaked, and at the head of that group of rotten low-hanging fruit is your buddy Dave Meltzer. The truth is so painful to people like Dave Meltzer and the sycophants that for whatever bizarro reason.
I like how he says sycophants instead of sycophants. That's how you know he's a cultured motherfucker.
Right.
Listen to him or think that he has any idea what the wrestling industry is really all about. Those are the people that I like to tweet. Not Tony. Tony's doing the best he can. Tony's living his dream. If I had access to a couple $1 billion, I'd be chasing and doing some silly stuff too that made no sense to anybody else.
Okay, I love that he just acted like Tony Khan running a wrestling company is the equivalent of somebody else going skydiving. This is how billionaires skydive, I guess.
But I wouldn't care. I'd just be going out and having fun, whatever that was. And that's what Tony's doing. So God bless Tony and his father for allowing him to do it because it's a gift. But man, tweaking those wrestling
may I say,
fans.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, Eric is saying this because he himself is kind of like what Tony Khan is going through with this RAF. Oh, shit, the RAF. The Real American Amateur Wrestling League that he's got going on. Like, but he's using somebody else's money in order to foot that bill. So he doesn't want to be seen like Tony Khan, but he's just like Tony Khan.
But man, tweaking those wrestling fans, there's people that have emotional breakdowns by making a simple
freestyle.
comment.
Thank you.
And I was absolutely right. Once again,
this was Eric Bischoff taking a victory lap over the AEW ratings collapse. This video actually, the full video of that went live on Eric's channel last night and got taken down. I don't know why.
I wonder
on the YouTube channel or Twitter.
Yeah, on the YouTube channel.
I wonder how many reports went in about the video.
It's let me tell you, the glee in Eric Bischoff's mind. He is having as much fun messing with them as he used to do when he would come out with a New World Order on Nitro and drive the people into a riotous frenzy by smiling at them.
He had more people show up at his arena show than people that showed up at the Dynamite the last few weeks. So he's got a reason to gloat. This thing came out of nowhere, and it did pretty goddamn well on ESPN, considering that it's amateur wrestling, and it's on par with the ratings with Dynamite. It's
you know what? It wasn't it on Fox of all places.
ESPN, I believe. That's right. Right. That's right. No, you're right. You're right. It was Fox.
Yeah. So that's even
Fox
crazier, because it wasn't it's not a sports network. So.
Right.
All right, let's get to some super chats before we move on. John Williams from $4.99 says, Sean lied to me that steroids increase the odds of having sons. Yeah. All girl. He's shooting all double X's. Arthur Jennings for $10 Australian says, first one was a thank you for the show, but do they know if the ROH streaming issue was regional? Like in Australia, we're struggling to stream the latest headlines.
That's great. Bang, bang.
That was a good one. Look, that was good. Guys, if you're going to come at me about if you're going to come at me for Headlock Headlines, just be clever like that, and I'll laugh.
You burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave away Death Before Dishonor for free on YouTube.
Because the most people that have ever watched ROH since Tony bought it watched.
Right.
Reddisaurus for $5. If AJ Lee turns out well, does it increase the likelihood of Paige coming back as well? No, she's broken.
Yeah, no.
Or will WWE still consider her too fragile via her neck? No, medically, she cannot wrestle.
She can't. I mean,
you know what?
If
you know how you write Paige in?
Yeah,
you know how you get Paige in there? You get who's the GM for NXT? Get her out of there.
Oh gosh, Ava. Pebbles.
The spawn of the Rock? Yeah, that's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Hey, he's not doing too good as far as like his perception, So
he's still the
might
Rock.
be time.
He's still the Rock, even though he now looks like Al Roker after bariatric surgery. He's
He
still the
looks
Rock.
like my size right now. Like, what the hell is going on with
Apparently,
you?
that's because he's playing a 70-year-old man in something
He's
called
doing
the Chicken.
Yeah, he's
Someone
a
called
The Chicken Man.
It's a musical. Yeah, he's going to be in a musical.
What? Damn, Dish, you ruined every
I
fucking thing.
I
had no idea it was a musical.
I didn't make it a musical, dude. I'm just
You're
telling you what
coming
happened.
at him like he willed it into existence.
I know, but see, I had an idea of what this, like, you know how you think that there's going to be like some, this is going to be the Oscar winner right here.
No.
And now you're telling me it's a fucking musical? I
No,
have no
it's-
interest in watching that shit.
Marvin just said
Awful. The Rock's Oscar bait is going to be the snacking machine because he talks like Adam Sandler in the entire movie.
Oh, is that why?
It hurts my tummy.
I bookmarked a thing on Variety today that was literally like, yes, The Rock is a serious Oscar contender. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
Have any of us seen the show? Have any of us seen the movie? Excuse me.
no, I mean, maybe he's great in it. I had heard horrible
he's a
things.
tour de force.
He got
I
everyone's
will-
like, but it got a 15-minute standing ovation at this film festival. I'm like, every movie shown at a film
I know.
festival.
Clerks 2 got a 15-minute standing ovation.
Yes.
I will say that I watched the super extended trailer. He is acting his ass off, but he's also using the Rock makes fun of you voice.
Remember how we talked about this a few weeks ago? Like, does The Rock transform into Mark Kerr, or is The Rock going to be the fucking Rock throughout the entire movie? You know what I'm talking about?
I know, yeah, no. He's definitely not the Rock, but if you've watched enough Rock promos, you know where he got the voice from.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
I want to see it.
$5.
I'm anxious.
For $5 is Dis fights big butts and he cannot lie. Sir discs a lot.
Oh yeah, Kev, I'm a rapper now because I have a rap name, aka rap name.
Akadis.
Akadis. Dis.
That's my middle name, by the way, Aka.
Regina Sharp for $5. Oh God, AJ Lee was a heat-seeking magnet. Part 2. You could see when she walked through and a girl saw her. You could look at the girl's face, and they go, "Oh God, I dislike that dog, but she liked that." By Dutch.
Glom gold! Glom gold! Glom gold! Glom gold!
AJ Gosling for £2 sterling, but why did Becky motorboat Punk? That was the weirdest thing. And you know what? The one part of AJ's promo that I actually enjoyed was when she said that Becky motorboated Punk. Regina Sharp for $5 says YouTube Ken, in the words of DX, SUCKIT, me definitely. Yeah, guys, YouTube is doing some crazy stuff right now. You've probably seen it across a bunch of channels that you are following right now. So make sure you check to make sure you're still subscribed, because it's been eliminating subscribers from channels. It's been hiding channels in the algorithm.
Yeah,
So
go check to see if your account is restricted, because that seems to be what's happening. If they think that you might be a child and you aren't verified, then they will restrict your account. So you might want to go check, especially if you subscribe to things like, cartoon stuff or, puppet stuff, that kind of thing.
That goes for you too, you and Cumia.
Cody Duffy for $1.99, Power of the 199 says, did the AJ segment
I
seem
don't
too
know why.
long in your opinion? If you're talking about the return, no. If you're talking about the promo, yes. That promo went on forever. With a therapy chant.
Didn't they ask them to come back on the air, or run back to the ring on like Friday Night SmackDown? Like, get back out there, soak it up some more. Yeah,
It was
Okay,
after the
gotcha.
show. They needed stuff.
Yeah,
for
but they
YouTube.
always do that. Yeah.
Okay.
It used to be after the show, you always saw things like a Stone Cold Steve Austin beer bash, or Vince attempting to rip off Pat Patterson's pants, which is the thing that did happen.
Funny.
Chevetti for $5 says Ronda talked trash about Alexa and everyone dumped on Ronda. It was great. That's where we're going next, brother. So hold on. We're going to talk about the whirlwind of crazy that is Ronda Rousey next. Maddie for $1.99 says Occam Disc Clan ain't nothing to mess with.
I'm glad that stuck. Aka.
Ryan Damon for $5 says Star Trek just put a show episode to get their kids' fan base to bathe. When will wrestling do this? What was that? The Star Trek camp thing that they're doing, or scouts, or I don't know. All I know is I'm watching the Orville right now, and I'm in season 2 of the Orville, and I am loving it. It's so good.
I remember hearing a review about the Orville, and someone mentioned in their own video that the Orville is what Star Trek should actually be. Is that true, Marv?
The Orville is what modern Star Trek should be. Yes, it's
right.
very reminiscent of Next Generation. Because suddenly, Kevin, you tell this part because you know so much more about this than I do.
Many moons ago, Seth MacFarlane wanted to direct an episode of Star Trek, and then he wanted to showrun Star Trek, and the geniuses at Paramount told him no. So then they gave it to Alex Kurtzman, which is why we are where we are now. And then MacFarlane said, well, screw it. If I'm never going to get Star Trek, I'll just make my own Star Trek. And he went to Fox, and they gave him the Orville. And the Orville is everything that Star Trek is, plus a little bit of Seth MacFarlane. It's everything great about the Next Generation. Plus, you get those silly laughs. And, it doesn't take itself too seriously. And it is the most Star Trek thing to come out of Star Trek in probably the last 15 years. So
I will sell awful on it in one sentence. Norm Macdonald is in it.
Oh yeah.
Norm is such a great part of it too.
Yeah.
Like where I'm,
wow.
where I'm at in season 2 right now. Like the Kalon stuff just went down, so Yaphet like had his big hero moment, and I was just like, yeah, Norm. Like he plays a gelatinous blob. That like
oh god,
that just like it literally just like slimes its way into the scene and like makes a wisecrack and leaves, or like hits on the doctor lady and then leaves.
To bring this back around to wrestling, did you see that freaking Tony Khan posted another dirty work meme this week?
I did not.
Oh, it made me so angry. I hate the fact that he likes Norm Macdonald. It makes me so mad. I just have to tell myself he doesn't really get it. That's what I have to keep telling myself.
Manny for $1.99 says, how much for a Tooneytown Sopranos channel? Look, I think Awful and I could do a special on Tooneytown TV for members only. Where we talk about Sopranos. Easily.
You're entitled to shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just a million quotes that you could get from the show.
You never had the makings of a varsity athlete. Oh, son of a bitch! We got to do that. We got to do an Italian and a black guy talk Sopranos, and we have to do with this. I have to do grown ass men meet boy meet world.
Yeah. Also, you're doing the mic thing again.
Sorry. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my microphone. Apparently, I have to move it super close. John Williams for $1.99 says, that was Nikki. Oh man, I thought she was Brie. Maddie for $1.99 says Kevin Hulkster is amazing when you start hulking up. John Williams for $4.99 says, whoa, Booker T, haven't seen you this bad since I told you were working with Gunther, let alone you suggesting he was racist. Did Booker T suggest that Gunther was racist?
Bobby Lashley. Was it Bobby Lashley?
It's Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. This joke has layers. I appreciate that. Christopher Miller for $5 says, let's start a super chat fund for Uncle Marv's hair tie now. all be booty bitches and bacon with big boobies for $2 says Marv versus Kevin at WrestleMania. Be a lot of me getting thrown around, I'll tell you that much.
It's so funny because that gives me an insight on how you two argue.
Yeah,
with your spouses,
it's always that is
your family, your children.
No, I don't argue with my wife like that. I only argue with Kevin like that. That is the you argue with your best friend like
yes,
yeah, and no one else. Like
Kev argued just like I argue with my wife.
Oh no! My wife would never get that side of me. No. My ex-wife, however, got a much louder side.
We learned how to clean it up over time.
Poor bastard.
No, you were there for it. I know.
Maddie, I was ready to fake your death.
Maddie for $1.99 says, "Let me tell you about AJ Lee, Meltzer Marv, brother." JJ Gosling for £2 sterling says, "Why does Riho look older than AJ? She's what, 28?
She's not 28. I think she's
How old
47.
is Riho?
I don't know.
Riho's not 4. I mean, who knows? I'm not.
Riho is 28.
Okay, there you go.
Japanese don't crack.
Thank you for editing yourself. CWJ 128 for $2 says that WBD AEW looks terrible now. And John Williams for $4.99 says Dis told Brock's manager he needed to be in the musical to save his career.
That's right. I did that.
Yes, yeah. You're
I also told him to do Southland Tales a few years ago.
Can I ask you guys a question before we even move any further? Because, I'm scatterbrained and would love to know the answer from people who watch movies. What director could put The Rock in an Oscar nomination or an Oscar contendership?
I don't want to see The Rock in. I don't want that. I don't want the Rock in Oscar bait. I want The Rock to be jumping out.
Sorry, pal. That's what you're going to get until he gets it. You know how Rock works.
I mean, the honest answer is the one that's coming up next, and it's Scorsese.
Yeah,
that's the right answer. And if it's going to happen, that's when it's going to happen. So,
not any.
By the way, nice
anyway.
warning I'm going to give to the chat. We don't take Norm Macdonald hate very well here. So.
No. No, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, but if your opinion is anything negative about Norm Macdonald, you're wrong.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I can understand a lot of people not really liking Norm Macdonald. You have to be a little bit intelligent to really understand his humor.
Oh my god. You have to actually think. All right. So speaking of people who don't think, Matt Riddle is in the news this week.
Remember that 10 minutes we gave him the benefit of the doubt, Marv? That 10 minutes that we were
Matt Riddle reportedly no-showed and ripped off a pro wrestling charity event last week that was raising money for survivors of domestic abuse and homeless veterans. Riddle is yet to return the deposit that was paid to him by the promotion via Cultaholic. All right, so let's see Matt Riddle's response to this from social media.
I could explain everything in great detail.
I've never been able to smell drugs through a screen before, but
drugs in like ejaculate. It's just
oh, with that
you nasty motherfucker, Dis. Golly. Yeah, really.
My word.
The fuck does that even mean? You've made me curse and come out of my character.
Come out of your character? This is a character that you play? Are you play? You usually don't curse? What?
Anyway, go on.
Go on.
I'm not lying. But I really don't give a fuck anymore. Most of you motherfuckers are dumb fucking cunt. Just like when you believe that YouTube bullshit.
Yeah, seriously. He is like Jason Mewes.
A less articulate Jason Mewes.
Yeah, a less articulate version.
The other fucking garbage. You guys are all fucking dumb. And it's fucking insane. It's fucking insane.
Yep. Noise.
Hold on. This is good. There you go. Wait. I gotta do this. Why are we watching an Iggy Pop video?
I met Iggy Pop when I was a kid.
Really?
Yep. I was.
I met
him on. I met him on a set of a television show. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
Fucking believe these fucking.
And by the way, when I met him, I had no earthly idea who he was because I was a child, and he's Iggy Pop. So.
Creeps. Whatever, dog. At the end of the day, I'm going to keep getting booked. I'm probably going to start fighting again. I'm probably going to do a lot of other shit. Fucking
I don't think you are, man. I really don't think you are.
Nah, dude. You ruin your career with each and every fucking tweet that you do. Damn damn, I've never seen such a jackass wrestler who has the opportunity to reshape his career, to come back better than ever, and they do shit like this. It's always so goddamn aggravating. Like, what are you doing? Where's your agent? Is there any of your friends talking to you saying like, hey man, snap the fuck out of it. Put down the fucking blunt and do some practice. I don't go ahead. I hate people wasting opportunities.
He had the world on a silver platter with WWE. Like they wanted to do stuff with him, and then he couldn't keep his mouth shut. He had to start running his mouth about Goldberg, about Brock, about anyone who would listen. And then he couldn't stop doing drugs. So I mean, didn't he get busted for a wellness violation?
Yeah, and that was after he got thrown out of UFC for it. When because Dana White went on that rant a couple years before that, where he was like, he has everything in the world that he won't stop smoking pot. He only has to work twice a year. He has to stop smoking pot twice a year, and he can't do it. And that's why he didn't make it in UFC, and that's why he didn't make it in WWE.
I can see Matt Riddle coming a mile away. This guy came into the WWE locker room thinking he could whip everybody's fucking ass because he came from MMA, and that's the type of like energy he's rocking with. And the fact is, you come off like a major douchebag. You haven't thrown anybody. You haven't knocked out anybody in years. So why are we to believe that you're some sort of fucking tough guy? I mean, anyway.
Well, remember, he's the same guy. He's the same guy that said the only reason he doesn't beat his wife and kids is because he smokes pot. That's the only reason he doesn't do that.
It's the one thing that stops him. It's his kryptonite. I have to drink this elixir to stop myself from turning into a werewolf at the full moon. Like,
whatever, dog. At the end of the day, I'm going to keep getting booked. I'm probably going to start fighting again. I'm probably going to do a lot.
You are not going to start fighting again, and if you do, you're going to get your ass handed to you. Remember when he said he could whoop Brock's ass, and then when Brock came back, he like went up to Brock in the back and was like, "Yeah, let's do stuff." And Brock was like, "You and I will never interact on camera." Like, isn't that what Brock said to him? Like, you and I will never have anything to do with each other. And Goldberg said the same thing to him, I think.
Meanwhile, right, exactly. Like he tried to challenge Goldberg on camera, and it's just like, what are you doing? Are you stupid? Like you. Again, another guy that wasn't smartened up by Kevin Apollo.
Well, when he broke in and started being trained, he was told from day one he was the shit. He's going to be the next biggest thing ever. And then he gets signed to NXT, gets treated the same way to NXT, gets the main roster, and Vince is like, pump the brakes on this. We're going to pump the brakes on this to see where it goes. And then he spun out. I mean, listen, the sad thing is, it's funny to laugh at because he's a fucking train wreck. But the man's clearly a drug addict and probably has a sex addiction problem.
Yeah,
we are watching him crash out.
It was like, what if Sean was a pothead instead of a cokehead?
Yeah,
I'm sure he has graduated past the pot.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, this is because WWE wasn't testing for pot when he got released.
He looks like a low tier OnlyFans girl right now with his dye job, and just
the only person that he has ever made happy in the wrestling business is Randy Orton when he got fired. Because Randy was like, "Oh, thank God, I don't have to come back with this."
Oh no, it was Drew McIntyre. Remember, because he was doing the McGriddle gimmick when he got when he got released. Could you imagine if instead of going with CM Punk, Drew McIntyre was stuck in a tag team with Matt Riddle?
Well, but that was only because Randy got hurt and was gone, and they went from RK Bro to McGriddle. God, awful.
No, he wasn't. He's not a bad wrestler. He's not actually. He's actually very serviceable in the ring. He knows what he's doing, but he's got to drop this fucking ego that a lot of these MMA guys have. I think Alberto Del Rio has it.
Ronda.
Who? Damn, I had to like, Ronda has like just humble Kurt Angle, who could have had it, you know what I mean? Like who could have had that arrogant fucking attitude. He didn't, and look where his legacy is now. You know what I mean? Like he's revered. Matt Riddle, Ronda Rousey, all these guys who come from MMA could be doing the same thing. All they ask you to do is respect the fucking business of professional wrestling. Thank you.
Can I tell you a quick Kurt Angle story? Because it might change your opinion here. I met Spike Dudley at a show one time. And he told me a story about we just like got to talking, and he's just a really cool guy. He told me the story that in TNA, I guess they did a show at the ECW arena, and they have all these like wrestling posters in the back. It was either the ECW arena or some other arena where WWE had been. And he said Kurt literally walked down the row of pictures, pointing at guys on the poster, going, "Made him tap, made him tap, made him tap, made him tap, made him tap." And so Spike goes, "Kurt, you know it's a work, right?" And then Kurt just looked at him. Silence.
This was
silent. It just. I'm not done.
Sorry.
Looked at him.
This was Perk Angle.
he looked at him. Dead silence. And then after 5 seconds of silence, just went. Made him tap. Made him tap. Made him tap. Just kept going. So Kurt Angle took himself seriously.
Yeah, but like Awful said, that's what I was going to say too. Is that was we're not supposed to call it Perk Angle. That was Peak Angle. That's what we're supposed to call it.
Right. That's what we're going to call it.
There you have it.
Of other shit. Fucking
even Brock Lesnar learned his lesson. I'm sorry.
Shit. Fucking crushing on OnlyFans.
Shut up, bro.
Got a big.
Wait, what the hell did he just say?
He's on OnlyFans.
Yeah, hold on.
And again, I'm probably gonna do a lot of other shit. Fucking crushing on OnlyFans because I've got a big fucking you know what, and I'm nice as fuck.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Believe it or not, I don't keep up with the adventures of Matt Riddle's dick.
Whoa, rewinding? What's happening?
Oh, just chipmunked out.
Oh, man.
Oh, no. We might have to just make this
it's
quiet
this?
for the rest of this segment, because I think if he leaves, this video goes away. Yeah,
stay right where you are, Dis. I've got a lot to say.
You just stop.
Dude, everybody, if you don't like me, unfollow. Go fuck yourselves, all right? I don't give a fuck, because at the end of the day, the cream fucking rises to the top. And I'm really...
Nah, motherfucker. At the end of the day... Yeah. At the end of the day, he's another douchebag fucking jock who, because he knows how to throw a couple punches, thinks that he can beat the fucking world. I am so tired of these types of human beings that roam the earth. And there's a lot of them in MMA and a lot of them in professional wrestling. I'm not saying like, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just so angry. Let's finish
this video.
Sure.
Let's finish this video.
You're right.
And then Dis can reset, and we can comment on it while we wait for Dis to come back.
Awesome.
Really tired of trying to be nice to everybody, because I hate to break it to you, most of you guys are fucking morons. Peace.
All right. Dis, go handle what you have to handle while Awful pulls this apart. All right, Awful. What do you got?
No, that's all I was gonna say. Like I'm around these types of people where they're like, I'm a fucking world beater. You don't gotta tell me shit. I can do whatever I want. I've got an opinion on everything. That's Matt Riddle. The problem is that they bury themselves because it has nothing having to do with how great you can throw a jab or an uppercut or how great you can do a spin kick. How smart are you, dude? How intelligent are you? Can you navigate the waters of the professional wrestling business? You couldn't do it in MMA. You can't navigate the waters of MMA, and that seems fairly simple for anybody who's played a goddamn team sport in high school or college. But this guy, he wants to smoke his way to oblivion. He wants to make sure that he has no career in the next 10 years. But the one thing that he wants to get across to everybody is that he's a tough motherfucker, goddammit. That's all I got to say.
And another thing, what's with all these MMA guys staging fake videos on YouTube,
dude?
Like, oh, I just happened to have a shot pew pew in the front seat of my car, and this guy was coming up to bug me, and I showed him. Or what's the name of the idiot who knocked out the small guy in the bar when it was painfully obvious that the small guy was just a drunken buffoon and he was going to be able to take him out. My hands are registered buttons, brother.
Yeah.
And I've been taught to anticipate punches. Kiss my ass, moron. Stop it.
Dis, are you with us?
I think so. How do I sound?
Yeah, you are.
Okay,
you
good.
are.
Yeah.
You're a little loud, but
I'll fix that.
All in my fucking ear.
Good.
All right, so now there was a second video where Riddle said, we're not going to subject you to the second video, but he said that the charity was not really for charity. They were lying about giving money to charity. And so at first I was like, this sounds like typical indie buffoonery.
Yeah.
And I was actually like, okay, you know what, Riddle, I'm actually kind of with you on this.
Yeah, the thing, it happened with Jacob Fatu last year, where when he signed with WWE, they tried to the indie promoter that he didn't work the show for came out and was like, oh, it was a charity thing. And then it came out that it wasn't a charity thing. And he just said it was a charity thing at the last minute to make Jacob Fatu look bad and all that crap. So
no, bro, I thought it was because Jacob Fatu legitimately, did not show up for that charity event. It was a charity event. And Jacob Fatu actually helped pay or refund some sort of money.
That's the indie special. You say it's a charity show.
Okay.
You give very little money
special.
to charity.
Jacob Fatu came out specifically and said, you weren't going to give anything to charity, I'll give it to charity. That was his make good there.
Gotcha.
But But then this turns out that it was
hold on.
Okay,
go ahead. You are incapable of letting me finish a sentence tonight.
True.
Maron.
Maron.
Half the time you sound like you're on AM radio, Marv. So
so Riddle said that, and I'm like, okay, you know what, Riddle, I'm kind of with you on this. I get where you're coming from. And then he was like, and bro, they were going to put me in a fucking middle seat in coach. And I was like, all right, fuck you. now we're back to fuck you. Immediately back to go
douchebag.
And then I found out that, it was an Al Snow show. And that it was, you can see on the next thing, it was announced as a charity show weeks ago. It wasn't something that just came up.
So Cultaholic Wrestling says, contrary to Matt Riddle's claim of a last-minute change, Al Snow announced 4 weeks ago that the profits from GWK's inaugural show would be donated to help for homeless veterans and survivors of bereavement by blah, blah, blah. We can't say the word on YouTube. Is what we'll call it. Riddle cut a social media promo for his match with Simon Miller 3 weeks after the show's announcement. So then we go into here.
Oh, thank God. I thought we had to listen to Al Snow talk.
No.
He's on that RFK fucking vibe. I'm like, I can't listen to him for more than 15 seconds.
Has his voice gone RFK?
Oh, it is just, You every time you listen to him, you want to go.
Yeah. All right. So, GWK has issued the following statement: update. Mr. Riddle has now paid back his deposit and has given us his word that he will reimburse his expenses too. We have not made any public statement on this unfortunate situation, but we think it's important to set the record clear on Mr. Riddle's claims. His flights were booked and approved by his manager back in April. No issue was raised at the time. We originally planned to coincide his appearance with some seminars, but his manager asked if we could share his weekend with a promoter in Paris who wanted to book him on the Saturday, which we agreed to. Unfortunately, they decided that they couldn't work with him. We did make efforts to see if we could get him booked elsewhere, but to no avail. We simply can't force promotions or gyms to work with him if they don't wish to. After months of chasing his manager for a promised promo hyping up the event, he eventually sent us one the Wednesday prior to the show. We wished him a safe flight on Thursday, but got no response. No issue of the flight was raised. We informed him the name of his driver on Friday morning, but got no response. Again, no issue was raised regarding his flight, nor did he let us know that he was planning on not showing up. After his driver waited several hours at the airport for him, we asked him where he was, but didn't get a reply back until Friday evening. Only then did he tell us he was unhappy with his flight and decided to take other bookings instead. We implored him to try to get a flight over as fans had paid to see him. He was reminded again that this was a charity event for survivors of bereavement and help for homeless veterans, which was announced on our social media pages back in July. We received no response from Mr. Riddle whatsoever until yesterday afternoon, 3 days after the event. In his many videos, he stated that his flights didn't include meals. Screenshots clearly show that 2 meals were included in his flight, and those screenshots were sent to him on Friday night. No seats were allocated because this is done once you check in online, which Mr. Riddle hadn't done. Any issues with luggage could have been quickly sorted out by a quick message or phone call. Yes, he said there was no check bag, there were no meals, and he had a center seat. That's what he didn't like. It is incredibly disappointing that this happened, but we would like to focus on the positive and heap massive praise on all the talent and fans who showed up on Sunday. All the fans and talent backstage were incredibly positive, and the reaction of the crowd when Grotto's music hit nearly knocked us out of our chairs. Grotto truly is the man. So,
may I ask a question?
No.
All right, then I won't.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Do you write something this long-winded to counteract what this goofball said? Did he even mention OVW or Al Snow or anything like that? Kev, your thoughts? I would love to know, how do you combat this bullshit?
I just because Riddle does have such a user base, you do have to explain. The more information you put out, the more context you give, the harder it is for him to kind of lie his way out of it. Or to kind of really happened.
So we're attacking a Riddle. Gotcha. I understand.
Because you don't want to have to deal with. Well, you were never gonna do this anyway, or he was never coming. You have to you have to address from all sides and all angles. It's stupid that you have to do this, but it's just something you have to do.
So I think we should provide some context, though. You mentioned the indie special, and I know but I figure there's other people here that might be able to explain that a little bit better, because I'm sure there are people that don't understand that indie promoters constantly do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, they all say that they're booking shows for for charity, for whether it's a children's hospital or whether it's something like that, and then they end up giving them very little money from the proceeds, and it's all meant to coerce buildings into letting them run the show. Where it's we're kind of not really crazy about wrestling. Well, what if it was a benefit show for this charity that you like? Toys for Tots or whatever. Kevin, am I wrong?
No,
oh my God.
It is a scummy thing to do, but they do it all the time.
No, the Toys for Tots one is the one that I know most, because all they do is put out a box in front of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's how you do it's the easiest one. You throw out a box and you say, put toys here, and then you tell people they can bring toys, and then you can call it a charity show. Yep.
Sorry, guys.
You guys are making me hate wrestling right now. I just didn't know that.
It's Carney, dude. Carney's.
Good Lord.
Dude, these indie promoters, they cut every corner. All right, we got some super chats to get to. Andre Adams for $9.99 says, Riho, that girl from the ring. They let her out of the well semi-annually. She crawls out of the TV.
I've got a title match.
Regina Sharp for $5 says, did Matt Riddle get his lips popped?
I mean, he's got those DSLs on OnlyFans.
DSL. Listen to this. And we ain't talking internet. Wow. We are not talking internet, folks.
I just got some filler, dude. I'm going to do a special on my OF. Got to show these bad boys off.
Dumb, talented jock that fucking ruins his own career. I've seen it too many times.
We've all seen his text messages and tweets before. Yeah. So no one can be shocked.
Andre Adams for $4.99 says, why Riddle got duck lips?
He finished up. Happy endings.
Yeah. Liquid Fox for $2 says, first time a video made me want to shower. Yeah. John Williams for $4.99. I mean, it was reported Beep liked Riddle because he reminded him of a young Shawn Michaels.
I did hear that. Yeah.
How?
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. Jesus Christ.
Because he was brash and outspoken, not wrestling style.
He was brash, outspoken, and had a drug problem.
Yeah.
Regina Sharp for $5 says, Matt Riddle now looks like the minion from RoboCop who got melted by hot toxic waste. I remember watching that as a kid, and being like, why is this in here? John Williams for $4.99 says the only reason Kurt didn't have the ego was because WWE rejected first proposal Kurt, who never wanted to lose. Yeah. Yeah, the first time when he said, well, I could do it, Vince, but I'm never allowed to lose. Vince was like, well, pal, sorry. John Williams for $1.99 says, seriously, did Marv switch mics with Awful?
Yeah, it was getting bad there for a minute.
I need to look into what's going on with this thing.
F you, John Williams.
Liquid Fox for $2 Canadian says, don't do toys for tots at a WNBA game. Oof. Ah!
Yeah, no.
You know what's getting thrown in there.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't that happen?
Batteries are not batteries.
It happened at a football game over the weekend, yeah.
No, those toys are not for tots. I saw Caitlin Clark is out on injury now, like for a long time. And I was like, all right, ladies, now is your opportunity. Shine without her here. Draw those ratings. Show us what you can do. Show us that you deserve that money. But speaking of ladies who, who are delusional, let's check in with Ronda Rousey. So Ronda Rousey said that she refused to tap out to Becky Lynch when the idea was pitched. It was proposed that I tap out to her, Becky Lynch, armbar at Survivor Series, and I said my mother would disown me.
I believe it.
Anytime anyone's ever actually armbarred me in real life, I've just let them dislocate it and I limp arm out. I doubt that. There is no way that she has let people dislocate her.
Kev. Yeah, thank you. See, I think I believe it.
It's a certain mentality.
Exactly. Need I say more?
She said, that's why my ligaments are all fucked up in this arm, so I'm not going to do it. Anytime anyone ever choked me out in competition, I just went out, and I don't tap. I don't tap, motherfucker. That's just how it is.
And Vince should have known that.
So, okay, but here's the conversation I was having about this earlier in the week. There is a world that exists where this makes sense. There is a world that exists where her gimmick is that she is untappable. That her gimmick is that she will dislocate her arm before getting out. That world was not WWE in 2019 or whatever she was in there. They didn't push that at all when she was there. So the idea that she wouldn't, like, if you were coming in and saying, I am untappable, I am all this, which, by the way, even if you do that, eventually you have to tap. That's the wrestling rule. It's like showing a gun in the first act of a movie. If you say I don't tap, eventually you got to tap. But you're playing a role at this point. It's not like you're going to.
This is what happens when you don't smarten a woman up. As far as the wrestling business.
Okay, right? Get better.
Yeah, I'm getting better with it. I mean, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I'm talking about Ronda. How about stay in the kitchen and wash my socks? I'm joking, people. I'm not even talking. I wasn't even joking about that. I'm talking about that particular woman, as in Ronda Rousey. Yes.
Obviously, you mean smarten her up to the wrestling business.
Yes, smarten her up. Listen,
it's okay to lose.
Yeah, come on, guys. But it is funny that you guys took it that way. I'm not going to hate, but I'm not going to disagree either. But listen, the fact is that Ronda Rousey didn't want to tap. I don't think this is big news. She didn't want to tap. And she has a valid reason. Kev and I just both elaborate. Well, Kev, obviously, he knows if I'm going to tap, you're going to have to do something spectacular to me because I've never tapped. My mom would disown me. My parent. That's enough. Let's try another way to get out of this match. So Ronda Rousey can't tap. Okay, no big deal. I have no problem with it.
I disagree. Cut that promo then. Cut that promo. She didn't cut that promo. Without that promo,
how about with your 27 writers? How about with your 27 writers? You write that into the story.
She was unbeatable for what, a year? Like I think she didn't lose at all for a long time, right?
It would have been weird for Ronda to fucking tap.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's two things at play here, right? Yes, Ronda was super legit. Other than the fact that she had two devastating losses before she jumped over. How
did she tap to those though? No, Kev? She got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
So yes, for the because this is their and we have to the big difference between where WWE is now then and where they are now is WWE is mainstream. But back then when she came in, they were in the middle of the transitioning it stopped being a wrestling thing and became a mainstream pop culture thing. Everybody that was coming in, they were not going to accept that Ronda Rousey was going to be tapped up anybody there, or that she was going to be losing that, within that first entire year. You had to develop her character, for people to be willing to suspend disbelief and take you on that ride. Where the WWE messes up is they don't take the time to work that aspect of her wishes into the story. The other side of it is because a lot of this is her bitching about how she had to work with Alexa. And at the end of the day,
we're going to get to that.
Okay, I'll wait for the last part.
Now, the thing I want to point out here is I agree she should not have been tapping to just about anyone, but I think it's important to remember where Becky was at this time. Becky was the biggest star in wrestling at this point. Like, she had exploded the way no female wrestler had ever exploded before. These women main evented WrestleMania. I think they thought her tapping out Ronda Rousey would have been the career maker for her. Which, I mean, she was already made. You can make that point. She was already made. But
I would say that Becky's armbar is the shits. So
the disarmer.
The disarmer is the shits. It looks terrible.
I understand the mentality of Ronda not wanting to tap, and I can understand the mentality of the office pitching this idea because Becky was so red hot at the time. Let's see what else she said. The fact that they had me fighting Alexa Bliss at all was effing ridiculous. And you want to know why they had me against Alexa Bliss? Because she had the most merch sales at the time. Like, what the fuck? That's your decision-making process? Yes!
Yes.
Can
wrestling business. That's how decisions get made. It was a big money match. You are a big money attraction. She's a big money revenue provider. You take your big rev, you take your big attraction, you smash them together, you get ratings, you get a whole lot of money. This is where Ronda's a fucking F-tard. Because I'm sorry, if you have been a wrestling fan after 1997, you are very much so aware of how things work. You may not you know the terms. You may not know exactly how to provide the context of it, and you may not know the why or the how certain things happen the way they happen. But
guilty.
You are very much so aware that it is a business, and that revenue generation is a big determinant on how business gets done. Why was Michael Jordan on all the fucking posters? Because Michael Jordan made all the money. Why was Kobe on all the posters? Because during Kobe's time, Kobe made all the money. Why was Mike Tyson? Why is Conor McGregor? Like, she was in the UFC. The UFC very plainly took the WWE's business model. She understands how this works. So this is her just being a petulant child. But I also say, hey, at the end of the day, we all kind of forgot. Sylvester Stallone put his signature on her. Isn't it weird that after she gets a prominent feature in the third Expendables movie, she hasn't done a thing since? It's probably because of shit like this. The woman is clearly a lunatic and a petulant child.
I learned that she was greedy and lazy.
So, like,
we can make it about her now. We can make greedy and lazy about Ronda because we can't do it about Bruce Willis anymore without being sad.
Yes.
I hate to go down the rabbit hole, gentlemen, but I gotta ask you a question. What is this in the context of? What was Alexa Bliss versus Ronda Rousey? What pay-per-view was that? Because if you ask me, Ronda Rousey's a bigger name than Alexa Bliss. Now, maybe not in professional wrestling, but they could have made Ronda Rousey a gigantic name in professional wrestling.
Well,
is it because her attitude prevented her from doing this?
Well, I mean, look, when she had that first match that involved also Kurt and Tripp, everybody was
awesome
like, oh my God, she's the biggest. She's like the best, natural since Kurt. And then when they started putting her in the ring with matches that weren't put together by Kurt and Tripp, she wasn't nearly as good. Now, my timelines are a bit mixed up here. When she worked with Alexa Bliss, was that run number 1 or was that run number 2? because those were two very different Ronda Rouseys.
I think that was run number 2.
If it was run number 2, then I understand it. If it was run number 2, then Alexa should have beaten her. Because that second run was pitiful.
I think they kind of. I think WWE kind of fumbled Ronda Rousey. Now, I'm not going to discount the fact that they might have seen something backstage that was just like, I don't know. But I'm also like, she's too gigantic of a star. You took one of the biggest draws, probably top 3 biggest draws in UFC, and brought him over to here to WWE. You truly, kind of like what you're doing with Jade Cargill. I don't know if you're really doing it with Jade Cargill, but you got to really smarten her up. You got to smarten her up.
I say the difference between Jade and Ronda is Jade is still learning, and Jade wants to learn. So they have plenty of time. She's young. She's learning. The problem here's the problem: when you see people fail, a lot of the times when there's someone who should be a big star, it is because they have not, and there's something you have to learn for yourself. They have not taken the time to learn the business of doing this.
Right.
Ronda is very much so only about her. She's being selfish. And I always go, I think one of the best Hall of Fame speeches ever delivered was Ted DiBiase's, where it wasn't always about your star power. It wasn't about what moves you could do. It was about being reliable. She became so annoying. When you become annoying to deal with, and you're not a super duper mega money generator.
In that particular field, Kev, keep that qualified because in MMA, she was the bee's knees.
She was. But then what happened? When she got knocked out and was done, she wasn't.
Yeah. Her last run in WWE was unremarkable, to say the least, too.
Oh, you're being generous.
Yeah, it was. I
dog crap.
I was never a big fan of Ronda in WWE, but I also wasn't a big fan of WWE at the time, so I try to kind of stay out of it.
I was more of a fan of Ronda than I was of WWE.
That was the run where Ronda was, like where she very clearly resented the fact that the fans were booing her.
Yeah. Yeah, she never looked like she wanted to be there. Ever looked like she wanted to be there.
I got a question. Do you have her have a heart-to-heart with Brock Lesnar? I sent you guys a video in the private chat, and I made a comment like, this is the Brock Lesnar that gets professional wrestling. Like, he had come back the first time, or it might have been the second time, or the third time. I don't know when the fuck it was. But Brock Lesnar at a certain point, like, where you thought at one point he did not respect the business of professional wrestling, when he came back, he completely respected the business of pro wrestling. I think he might have been a good help for her to, like, listen, you egotistical MMA bitch. You've got to humble yourself a little bit to understand this business and to make a lot of money in it. How about that?
I don't know where you're getting that from. I don't think Brock cares about anything that happens outside of
dude,
segments.
You know what?
I disagree. I think he respects it now. I think he understands it. He gets it.
Natty actually just put something out that said, I'm probably going to ruin Brock Lesnar's image here, but every time he comes to a show, he sits down and watches every match in Gorilla.
Really?
And when we come back through, when he said, when he come back through, he will talk to you about what was good, what wasn't good, what you need to work on, and he will go through with every single person on the card.
I've heard
that made me
I've heard nothing but stories about how generous and how effective Brock is, and he's been.
I have never heard that. I'm happy to hear that.
You can see it, Marv.
Brock
you can see it.
Brock gets it, but Brock is also, and rightfully so, very selective.
Yeah,
who he is going to work, because Brock.
But dude,
he has a certain amount of equity, and he intends to keep it. So, but other than that,
bingo.
That guy, if you are teachable, if you are able to listen, he will give you his time from everything that I've been told.
Dude, did you not see how he was working with guys like Samoa Joe? Yep. And even Dean Ambrose? Goddamn, like.
Well, he worked with Dean Ambrose until Moxley started pitching his ideas, and then Brock was like,
Brock, there you have it. That's a respect for the business. Moxley has no respect for the business, whereas Brock does.
That's Samoa Joe. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that Samoa Joe match. He looked like he was having more fun than he's had in years.
Exactly. Same thing with Ricochet. You may disagree, but he loved working with Ricochet. I could see it. I could sense it.
He loved working with Brock with that finger.
Right. He had it taped up.
So stinky. Why is hand so stinky?
They have a kinship. You know.
Yeah.
You touched Brock's face, now Brock has pink eye. Brock smash.
You know who I think helped Brock Lesnar really truly understand the business? Two people. And I have no proof of anything, but I'm just going by The Undertaker and Kurt Angle. I think those were the guys that were just like, you know what? Respect this business, and the business will respect you back.
Have you ever heard? Go ahead, Dis.
I was going to say, I would say Paul Heyman probably had a big hand to play in that as well.
Have you ever heard my theory on why Brock moved to Canada? Other than he just doesn't like people. The Canadian healthcare system is the closest thing that has ever come to killing Brock Lesnar. And therefore when he got diverticulitis in Canada, he nearly died because of the Canadian healthcare system. So Brock earned a respect for Canada because it almost killed him. So now he lives there.
Christ.
Okay, so speaking of Ronda being a terrible judge of character, Ronda Rousey has called Jon Moxley the most incredible human being ever and praises him for what he's done for Marina Shafir in her career. Going from being like, how do I do an arm drag, to being a part of 5-star matches and stuff like that. It's really great to see her just having so much joy with it and rising to the top level of the industry. When did Marina Shafir get to the top level of the industry?
Never. God damn it.
What 5-star matches has she been a part of?
I'm sure she's been at ringside during some of those big schmazes with the Death Riders that, you know, were given 5 stars by Meltzer.
She took the Hangman clothesline. Great.
I think so much has to do with Jon Moxley being the most incredible human being ever. He is just so supportive and so kind and so passionate. He's just so humble. And I feel like so much of that success stems from his talent. And not just his talent, but his willingness and passion to give back and to bring up everybody with him and have his rising tide lift all of their boats.
Oh,
and I'm
bitch.
just so grateful for him and the kind of friend that he's been to Marina. She has never talked about a single human being with the awe and the praise that she is heaping on Dick the Boozer.
Yeah. She doesn't know that Dick the Boozer is afraid to death of Ronda Rousey, and he's going to play real nicey nice with her. Because he, just like the Walmart worker that beat him several months ago in the BJJ tournament, Ronda could do the same goddamn thing. So he's got to play it nicey nice.
People like Moxley are the real lifeblood of the industry, and I hope that continues, and that it's encouraged, and that it's not like some cutthroat me versus you kind of environment. Of course, it's not me versus you. Jon Moxley has creative control. Nobody's allowed to challenge him. It's the culture and the giving back to each other and the constant hands helping each other up. That is what makes it continue to be great and will continue to make pro wrestling rise in cultural awareness. By the way, what is she plugging right now that she's doing all these interviews?
A book, maybe?
Yeah, I think
another one?
Book. Yeah.
I think it's a book.
How many books does she have to write?
Maybe it's the paperback version of her book. Hey, here's a little scoop for you. Do you remember when she did work for AEW that one time when she went to ROH and then told them don't use any of that? You're not allowed to put that on TV.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you? I forgot to pull this, and I apologize. But MJF actually came out and posted after the Alexa Bliss one that was like, "Oh, you mean it's a business and not a real thing?" Like AEW guys are even allowed to call out Ronda at this point. Ronda is gone. She might wrestle indie shows or something like that, but once somebody from AEW comes out and calls her a mark and says it's a business, don't you understand that? That's the end. There's no way that you're going to get back in.
Ronda Rousey could have been a spectacular superstar for like the next 10 years. And they, just like Matt Riddle, they ruin it with their egotism and their ridiculous idea of what wrestling is.
when she left, she was in a tag team with Shayna Baszler, right?
Yeah.
No, she was feuding. They were feuding with each other.
They tagged and then they feuded.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You're pissed off that you didn't get your horsewoman match, but at the end of the day, 2 of the 4 could not wrestle to save their effing lives.
Right.
It's like, so what were you going to do? Especially at that point in time, as much as we poo-poo over all over Mercedes, those 4 women would have absolutely embarrassed Ronda and friends, to the point that they would have had to shoot if they wanted to walk out there any credibility. They couldn't hold a candle to what Charlotte,
Bianca.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about.
It's like, come on, what did you want them to do? They're having to get a good match out of the main attraction.
She's talking about Shafir there, and she acts like she's been all these. Has Shafir had a match? I know she's been at ringside for every Death Riders match, but I can't remember a match that she's had recently.
Wasn't she in the schmaz that also had Sky Blue in it?
Oh man, I don't know.
I don't think she's had a singles match, but she's been in mixed tag matches.
Yeah. She was in the one with Willow
she's being
too.
protected.
Yeah. That was at Willow, not Sky Blue. What was it?
Yeah. We watched her drop Willow on her head.
Yeah.
But guys, speaking of MJF, he did just get married, so congratulations to MJF.
Congratulations there, MJF.
The best thing about a wedding, guys, is all the photos that you get, all of the amazing memories that are captured, where the bride and groom are centered, surrounded by their loved ones, the people that truly matter, right there, right in the center of the frame.
That fucking goofball.
I'm assuming. Who is that next to him that's not MJF? Is that somebody is that a wrestler, or is that like the bride's
I can only hope that it's MJF's dad saying, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Because he is between the bride and groom.
Oh.
It's like the episode of The Office where Michael Scott goes to Phyllis's wedding and he's
how about
he wants to give her away.
No, see, I was saying it's like the episode of The Office where Jim had a barbecue and didn't invite Michael, so then Michael moved his improv group so that he could go to the barbecue.
Talk about this. Yeah, talk about this theory you have, because I love this theory.
So Death Before Dishonor was originally scheduled on September 5th, but they moved it to August 29th so that Tony Khan could attend the wedding. It has to be that MJF scheduled the wedding on the same day as an ROH pay-per-view so that Tony couldn't go. And then Tony's like, wait, I'll move the pay-per-view. I just like MJF giving him the invitation and being like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. It's on the same day. I didn't even think about it." He's like, "No, don't worry. I got it."
Tony, we wanted to hand deliver this invitation to you, but look, we know it's the day of the ROH pay-per-view. We know you can't go. We understand, man. Business has got to come first. You're building something here, man, and we don't want to stand in the way of that. But we would have loved to have had you there. Oh, it's okay. I'll just move the pay-per-view.
He shows up and he's carrying the chair on his shoulders.
The bride looks thrilled to have two men between her husband.
The worst part is too, like these pictures leaked out, and then Tony goes on every single site that posted the pictures and was like, "We're there for Alicia. She's such a great woman." And then right afterwards, he's like, "See, that's a Bill Watts explanation." Like he acts like he has to explain it in kayfabe, and then he talks about how he's just like Bill Watts because he explained it in kayfabe.
Yeah, so because people were like, why is Hangman is being photographed at MJF's wedding, and they're feuding on TV? Which, look, at the end of the day,
Lexus King was in the photo, wasn't he?
It's 2025. Like, I don't understand why we're being upset about that. Like it's long. We're long since past the days where the one who was it Mr. Wrestling or something like that in the plane crash. With Ric Flair, who was a babyface, got up and wrestled a match the next night so that nobody would know that he was in the plane crash with the heels. Like we're long past those days. But Tony,
hold on, Marv, hold on, stop right there, bro. Are you saying that it's okay to put this picture out on social media?
They didn't.
Okay.
They didn't.
Okay.
To be fair, yeah, like MJF's sister put it out, and then creepy people went on her Instagram and pulled it and put it all over the place. So, yeah,
Who gives a shit?
Open mouth smile.
Wrestlers have lives.
I know.
Right.
His open mouth smile as he stands between a bride and groom on their wedding day. Just absolutely no like
he won the fucking
awareness.
Super Bowl.
I bet you he caught the bouquet and the garter.
Oh my God!
Like he was knocking bridesmaids out of the way to get the bouquet, and then got
elbow
the
drops. He knows moves those other.
Mercedes.
He stands up at the end of the wedding and goes, "I now like to pronounce you man and bride." Ladies
Oh my
and
God!
gentlemen.
Do you think that he made a speech at their wedding?
Oh, 100%.
100%.
God, what a duh.
I'd pay for that.
Remember at Phyllis's wedding when Michael Scott stands up and everybody goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Bob, man!" The ceremony's still going.
God bless him.
I would pay for his toast at the
You know, guys, Max and Alicia, they're really great together, and just like they're so great. Like when they came backstage to my show, AEW Dynamite, which Wednesday Night Dynamite, which is on Wednesdays on TBS at 8 p.m. It was just really great because like they're really great together, and when they come backstage, on my show, AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite on 8 p.m. on TBS, and I just think how great they are when they come backstage at my show, AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite.
Excuse me, I'm his plus one. I have to.
God bless it.
Oh, when's the chicken dance?
I ordered salmon.
Oh man.
I noticed there was no pork option on the menu, so I brought my own bacon. Dave Meltzer bringing pork to a Jewish wedding.
Oh, that's good.
No,
you know what? Congratulations to MJF, though.
Yes.
Seriously. Good for you, man. Many happy returns.
Great reasoning why you got married, all that stuff.
Oh yeah, you forgot about that.
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
let's not.
Yeah, we're not gonna bring it
Knock her up.
That's the speculation.
Hey, that's all I got to say.
Well, then, congratulations twice. Whatever. John Williams at $4.99 says, Ronda, didn't you already disown your mom because she didn't like your current coach? That sounds like the most Ronda Rousey thing that's ever happened. So I would assume. Ryan Damon for $2 says Ronda Rousey put over Turtle in the Entourage movie, but she didn't tap.
Did you see Liv Morgan did the most Liv Morgan thing ever this week and was like, I loved the Entourage movie with a cry face on it. And I'm like, that's the most perfect Liv Morgan tweet I've ever seen in my life.
Wait. Well, I've never seen the Entourage movie, so I don't understand this.
Oh, the Entourage movie is just 3 episodes of Entourage, and they put it on a big screen. Like, if you ever seen Entourage. But yeah, it's just, I mean, anyone who in the year the year of our Lord 2025 is posting about the Entourage movie is going to be Liv Morgan.
Oh, it's that Jersey girl that you don't want to take on a date to the boardwalk.
Right.
By the way, AJ Lee is also the girl you don't take to the Jersey boardwalk.
Oh no, different reasons. Reasons.
We need to make another show on how Jersey girls operate.
Oh, I can write a book. CWJ 128 for $2. Ronda perceived as not liking wrestling, and it showed. John
That's
Williams for $4.99. Brock, calm down. Cowboy hat is very calming. Brock, nice.
I really do believe. I'm sorry. I really do believe the Undertaker had a heart-to-heart. I believe they had a couple beers together. 4 hours later, Brock was just like, "I got it now. I get it."
How do you have that many matches with the Undertaker and not have some of it
right?
Especially like American Badass Undertaker. Like I still say, without a shadow of a doubt, my favorite Hell in a Cell match of all time is still Brock versus the Undertaker. Like American Badass Undertaker.
We're losing,
Brock.
We're losing, Brock.
I want to read Awful's Brock.
You're gonna die.
I want to read Awful's Brock Taker fan fiction that he clearly has somewhere.
Let me tell you something. I swear on my children, this is true. I was a security guard for a local college that I was going to. And so I get stationed in the library one day, and I also had a paper to work on. So I'm sitting at one of the computers and I'm typing. And I'm looking for wrestling news because I'm just bored. and this kid sits next to me, and he looks like your stereotypical wrestling fan, and he proceeds to talk about how much he loves The Undertaker. Pulls up his GeoCities website, which has a picture of The Undertaker on top of a castle with lightning bolts firing out of his hands at dragons, and then goes on to tell me about how The Undertaker was an underground shoot fighter.
I love this.
Killed the guy with a lethal left-hand punch.
That's my favorite story. I love that story.
It's called a soup bone.
He killed the guy, and that's why he had to go into wrestling. I was like, wow. Wow.
John Williams from 499 says, Ronda being a fan of the Neo Moxleys is not a surprise when you remember that she's a major conspiracy theorist. Regina Sharp for 5 says, dear God, please let Ronda sign with AEW. I want to watch what little career she has be buried with the plumber. Amen. Well, the first thing is Mercedes is going to want to tap her out.
Was Ronda Rousey that bad to you guys? I mean, did she fucking did she raise your taxes? I mean, come on. Jesus Christ.
I like I said, that was my downtime with WWE, so I can't really make up.
Yeah, she wasn't that fucking bad.
She wasn't that bad. They messed it up a little bit, but I'm not bound to contract. I keep finding things to complain about Ronda that is ruining your ability to go back.
Right.
You watch Ronda.
Right.
I love the fact that that Devon was super duper important to her, and that apparently he was the one who was kind of able to crack the code and get her to understand what she understands about wrestling.
Right.
And that she's put him in her silly little the video she used to make with her husband. I think they were like being attacked by mutant tables, so she called Devon to help them defeat the table. like Ronda stuff like that is awesome, but this Ronda is heartbreaking and irritating.
Yeah.
So it's like, just
because you want to like her. She's not a dislikable fucking person.
And I really think that's what it is because that was my away time from WWE. Every time I heard about Ronda, it was when she was talking like this and doing stuff like this, and it was just indicative of that bigger problem that was going on at the time where everyone, like so many people were part-time and everything. So, like I said, Ronda as a performer was okay. She was fine, acceptable. But I had too much of her outside of wrestling, and that just drove me away.
I loved her line about how she wanted to keep women's sports being women's sports and men's sports being men's sports. And that's all I got to say about that.
John Williams for 199 says Tony begged to be walked down the aisle. I'm sure. Remember when Michael Scott said that he paid for the wedding because he pays Phyllis's salary? I'm sure Tony Khan said the same thing.
And then he looks at the camera like, you remember, right?
Oh man,
I love The Office.
Paper's good.
Right,
the paper's good, by the way. Paper's good.
Nah, sorry,
it's
pal.
Good. It's
I'm
good.
loyal to The Office. I am not going to be watching it. I'm not trying to watch it. Sorry.
I gotta watch it.
Nah.
All right. So here's an interesting thing. Wardlow, immediately after coming back, sustained a major injury. So it is feared to be a torn pectoral muscle, which would sideline him for quite some time. Nick LoPiccolo, who we have talked about on this show before, who is a sports agent who represents a lot of wrestlers.
Won't hear from him no more.
And who has become the bane of AEW's existence in recent weeks. He commented on this. He says there is a pattern of other wrestlers sustaining long-term injuries immediately upon returning after sitting on the creative shelf for extended periods of time.
Yep.
There is an established link between deconditioning and injury. A primary reason for the heightened risk is that gym shape is different from game shape or ring shape.
Yep.
A sudden spike in physical demands without a gradual ramp-up can lead to soft tissue injuries like hamstring, groin, and calf strains. A torn pec is a soft tissue injury. An owner of an NFL franchise should have known that. In 2020, when the preseason was canceled due to the beer bug, there was a 118% increase in ACL tears in the first 4 games of the season compared with other years.
Dude.
I want to say I'm very proud of this because I specifically last year, we came on here and I said, Kev, because everyone was defending AEW saying, hey, they give their guys plenty of time off. They get to stay home and get paid. And I said, Kev, what happens when you stay home and get paid? And he said exactly this.
Thank you. By the way, to these stupid AEW waterheads who got mad at me for pointing this out and saying that you cannot compare NXT injuries to these AEW injuries, suck it, you're morons. Your mothers are ashamed of you.
I thought you were going to say something else.
Explain that, Kevin. How would you explain the difference between the AEW injuries and the NXT injuries?
Well, so this was the false comparison that was out there, the Copio. They were screaming about how NXT has a disproportionate amount of ACL tears, which means it's worse than NXT. And I'm like, well, so I took a minute, I did some research. One, the WWE does not report injuries externally, so there is no real data on who is or is not hurt. Two, there only have been 4, and again, we're keeping it in a very tight window. There have only been 4 major injuries, and 3 of them were ACLs over the course of 2 years, with a roster that has about 60-something people on it. And when you break down the way the NXT kids are trained, because they train 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. They wrestle on Wednesday. They wrestle on Saturdays. Sundays are only day off. Considering the schedule that they keep, which is insane, that is actually mega impressive and is a testament to their revised strength and conditioning program. Now, yes, did they suffer from issues with overtraining? 110%. These kids should not be working the way they work, but I don't work there. I can only comment on so much, being a former certified personal trainer. With strength and conditioning credentials. But what's happening here is because these guys sit on the shelf for so long, you can go to the gym and you can look phenomenal. But like you said, gym shape is not ring shape. Ring shape is a radically different creature. Ring shape is why Dusty Rhodes can go out there and look the way he looked and work an hour and hardly break a sweat. It's a very different thing. So now when these guys get pulled in, they're called into very sudden action. These AEW matches are oftentimes too long. They're very dynamic, very coordinated. It requires your body to move in certain ways. You get a lot of fast switch movements. And guess what? What happens? It is a surefire danger zone for getting an injury, usually a major injury. And at the end of the day, let's be honest, once you are older than 25, there are certain things that you're going to do where you're at mega risk. Wardlow has been injured a couple of times, and this is a big reason. If you are going to hire people to do this kind of work, they have to stay active. It just is what it is. At the end of it, it's like I think like this. We all know what a hot frying pan looks like. So what happens when you throw water into a hot frying pan? You see that massive release of the heat as an explosion of energy. Your body does not want to do that. When you do that, it is under a tremendous amount of strain. All that energy is flowing through your body, and when it disperses, it's usually taking something with it. The heat, like you said, Tooney should be very much so aware of it. If their doctors were to be taken seriously, because I'm assuming they come from the NFL, they should also be very much so aware of it. This kind of tells you how seriously they actually take what the talent does. For all their luster and bluster about how much they respect wrestling, they clearly do not respect the amount of strain that goes on the human body.
Right.
No, it happened. It happened to Miro. It happened to Keith Lee. It happens to all Brian Cage. All of these, especially the bigger guys, it keeps happening. And that's why Miro is doing stuff like Rusev is doing stuff like working NXT and getting as many reps as possible now, is because, especially when you've been off as long as him, that was his biggest complaint. Yep. If you remember, everyone else was talking, you always heard, that's, I think, what we got in the discussion about in the first place, because everyone was talking like, oh, Tooney gives these guys so much time off, they don't have to do. This is what happens every
Doesn't
time.
Mean shit.
Yep.
Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash. Tell you, time off is your worst enemy.
The worst enemy.
Kevin Nash. What about Kevin Nash?
That happened. Look how many. Why do you think Kevin Nash tore his quad the first time he came back from having a year off or something like that? It happened to him multiple times where he would come back and immediately get injured. And it's because, especially when you're that size, you need to keep going. And when you don't, you get hurt every time.
Do you think that these WWE or AEW guys, when they come back from injury, do you think they have any kind of facility where they can go and kind of work out the rust a little bit?
No.
Or do you think they just kind of throw them back into the shark?
They do this. They go to their friends. They go to their friend's ring or somebody who they're connected with.
Yes, but I thought he meant.
But do they become dedicated and do they spend 8 hours there to work out the kinks? No,
Tony Khan has bragged.
I meant like an official AEW place.
No, of course not.
WWE would send you to the Dudley's before there was like a performance center. You would go to somebody's school, or Dr. Tom Pritchard would take you in the ring at Titan Tower and work out with you.
No, Tony Khan has bragged, saying, "This is our performance center. Mm-hmm. We don't have a performance center. It's right here in front of you fans." Woo!
Dude, I've said that for years. I've always said it. It's the same fucking boring ass dry joke. Mm-hmm. I don't know why Tony Khan does not rent a barn somewhere out in the Midwest, and while these motherfuckers are not performing on Wednesday nights, Thursday afternoons, Friday afternoons, Saturday, you're here at this barn or at this training facility, for lack of a better term, to learn your craft so that the muscles can get used to the grind that everybody's trying to run away from. So the grind that professional wrestling is.
So the argument that he keeps seeing online is one I just posted, where it's Wardlow did a short arm lariat to Prince Nana. That's a freak accident. And I'm sorry, it's not the first time this has happened. Kev has just given you all the the evidence that you need.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Freak accidents happen, but it's not so freak when you are ice cold and all of a sudden have to go hot. It just is what it is.
And that's just human biology. But what do you know, Kev? You're only a professional wrestler and a personal trainer.
Whose traps we've seen grown in the last 40 minutes because of this.
I don't understand why people should listen to you, Kev. All you have is all this real world experience. These other people watch a lot of wrestling.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
So they clearly know.
They read a lot of Dave Meltzer.
You can't take me seriously because I don't charge you $14.99 a month.
Correct.
Maybe I
should.
You
still run a school. At least you still run a promotion. What the fuck?
All right. Moving along here, guys.
At least you better.
Our chat is on fire, by the way. I love our
awesome.
Chat.
Yeah, and Boris, I wasn't meaning to call you out. That was just the argument that I've seen 100 times this week, so I wanted to actually address it. Yeah.
Hold on one second. Let me. Here it is. Yes, gentlemen, it's that time again. Nick LoPiccolo.
Oh, you're fading, Marv.
Oh, all right. Can you? How about
it's
now?
Time for News and Sports at 10.
You're good now.
All right.
Weather on the 8s.
So while we're on the subject of Nick LoPiccolo, I think we need to kick off this That's Dave for you by Nick LoPiccolo gutting Dave Meltzer with a rusty fishing knife.
This might be Nick LoPiccolo's send-off, by the way.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He might be in a little bit of trouble. So
why?
Can I say it? I'll say it because I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah,
I'm
go
just
for
a
it.
fucking account.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get in trouble. Fuck him. LoPiccolo was told by his boss to kind of like cool it out with this. Blowing the cover on AEW.
No, since then. He's been.
Oh, okay.
Shout out Nick LoPiccolo.
Yeah. So he's talking about Meltzer here, and he says, "How do you lie this easily? I work at one of the top full-service talent agencies in Hollywood. Stranger Things, Outer Banks, The Masked Singer. These are just a couple of our packages before the WGA shut down TV packaging. Why would you think Hollywood is this stupid? The major agencies are either majority owned by private equity or sold stakes to firms like Silver Lake, TPG, EQ2, Crestview, or our backers. CAA with TPG sold a majority stake to Artemis in 2023 at a $7 billion valuation, up from $1.1 billion when the TPG first bought in. Do you think deals of that size happen without anyone knowing the numbers? I co-head our film sales and financing department with a colleague who came from 15 years at international finance production companies I Am Global, Paranormal Activity, Atomic Blonde, A Single Man, and Voltage, The Hurt Locker, Dallas Buyers Club, I Feel Pretty. I've sold or arranged financing for 150 to 200 films, including Immaculate last year with Black Bear that went to Neon. All of the streamers run strict retention to cost analytics before making acquisition offers or deciding what they are going to spend on P&A. I know the metrics because I've made a lot of those deals. I've represented actors, showrunners, athletes, music, docuseries like the Janet Jackson one from a few years back, and yes, Paul V. Tyson. I've also renegotiated in success. What do you think Hollywood does? Guess? Just because Netflix did not report the theatrical box office for K-pop Demon Hunters doesn't mean that we don't know that it made 19 to 19.2 million in two weekends ago. Our owner also owns an NBA team and a minority stake in an NFL franchise. The NBA has a $138 billion valuation. Do you think that 30 teams all owned by billionaires don't know the streaming numbers? Or that all of them would be okay with Adam Silver if he told them Max won't tell me? If Max even knows them at all, so we can't get the upper hand when we need to renegotiate our deal? In what world could you or anyone live in this much willful ignorance? Really? Just a masterful takedown.
Yeah, that was a response to Dave saying that no one knows the Max numbers.
No one.
No one.
Max doesn't even know the Max numbers.
Yes.
Yeah. This is how people who are in big, who are industry leaders or industry analysts or people who are in the business, this is how they should treat the also-rans that, like Dave Meltzer, who think that they know something or a thing or two about the industry, and they don't.
Go ahead.
I would point out this is also why they hate Eric Bischoff so much.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Bischoff knows what he's talking about. Eric Bischoff understands how these things function. The guy has been producing television and, frankly, hit shows for a very, very, very long time. Well, more than 2 decades at this point. So he understands this, and when he chimes in, he's not talking to these buffoons like he's wrestler promoter Eric Bischoff.
Right.
He's talking to them like he is Hollywood mover shaker, content creator Eric Bischoff.
Entertainment.
Yeah, like so it's like he has been with TV as TV and entertainment has evolved over the decades. So and that's why Dave gets so butthurt when Bischoff chimes in. And frankly, more people need to treat this buffoon like this. This guy's he's never wrestled a fucking match. He's never trained anywhere. He doesn't get his information from anybody who's credible outside of people who want to stooge off and try to make an environment better for themselves. This guy has no perspective, no context. He just spews bullshit and preys upon, frankly, people with entirely too much time on their hands.
Yeah. He's also never worked in television production in any meaningful way.
No, and here's the biggest point about this though is that what the point Nick is making is that if Tony had these numbers and they were good, he would report them.
Yeah,
that's it. So all the talk about WWE might have Max numbers and that's why they're up in the no. If Tony Khan had these numbers and they were good, he would report them just like he reports every other slightly positive news about AEW 100 times on his
just
Twitter
like
feed.
Every TV show does the same goddamn thing.
Just like the NBA reports their Max numbers, just like The Last of Us reported their Max numbers. Plenty of projects out there that have Max numbers that are worth a damn report their Max numbers.
But Max doesn't even know their Max numbers. What do you mean?
Max has put out 3 press releases in the past year with Max numbers on it.
Yes.
Dude, we can find out how many people looked at our tweet and went to our profile. What makes you think Max can't check out their numbers? Like, give me a fucking break.
We know exactly how many people are listening right now, and you're telling me
Let's stop with this nonsense.
It costs
They're not giving
$29.
you the fucking numbers, Dave. They're not giving
but also,
you the
like,
numbers.
Could you imagine going, like, here's the point that he made that I was like, that's it. That's the slam dunk right there. Could you imagine going into negotiations to renegotiate your deal and not having those numbers? They can't not tell you your numbers.
Incredible. Like, why did you give us such a lowball number? Well, Tony, I think you only bring in 15,000 people into HBO Max. Because I believe it's that low. That's just me.
I said this to you guys earlier. I said, has any other bold-faced lie ever snowballed the way this BJ Bethel thing did?
Dude. that narrative was killed last week.
That Tony Khan himself does not have the Max numbers, but this random dweeb has them?
And how can Dave Meltzer, of all people, push these numbers over and over again? He's willing to hurt his own credibility to bolster AEW. Think about that. Dave Meltzer, who has never admitted he's wrong in his life. The man got had by a fake guy with a Twitter account who said that he worked for Dragon's Gate and used him as a source for a year and didn't admit it until it was brought out publicly. And that man is still pushing these numbers. What does Tony have on him?
Tony has nothing on him. It is the fact that he has said for years that this style of wrestling in the United States would defeat the WWE, and now it's happening, and it's not what he said it would be, and he's spiraling because he has to be right. He hung his entire reputation on this.
This idiot, I wouldn't be shocked if this idiot actually has an active seat at the booking chair. This is exactly what it is. He has invested his entire existence into this company succeeding, and because it's not, he can't stomach that he is incorrect. His entire worldview has been shattered, and he will do everything and anything in his power to not have to admit that he's wrong.
This motherfucker went on Twitter, went on social media, was just like, listen, dude, I think they should play in the afternoon. I think All Out should play in the afternoon. What just happened last week? They're going to play in the afternoon. Yeah. AEW is going to now run All Out.
That was
in
announced
the afternoon.
recently. That wasn't always the case.
No. They ran.
They ran.
Ran.
But because Dave Meltzer went on for the last at least 2 weeks, you can correct me if I'm wrong, this or chat. But
no, you're right.
Yeah, they went on the last 2 weeks. Dave was just like, it's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea.
I agree.
Head to head. Yeah. But this doesn't help Dave's idea that he doesn't run anything or has no influence in AEW. He most certainly fucking does.
Well, Dave Meltzer's full of shit. Dude, Dave Meltzer said 100 times, I have no problem. But then he did a public interview where he said that he talks to Tony about booking ideas and that Tony takes him. He has no idea. Like, he just says things. He doesn't even keep track of it anymore.
But guess what? It comes true by way of Tony Khan.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think I have always pushed back on the idea that Dave Meltzer is paid by AEW. I have always kind of subscribed to the theory that Dave Meltzer knows that his bread is buttered by AEW's success because his fan base is the AEW fan base. So the better AEW does, the better Dave Meltzer does. And Dave Meltzer also knows that even if he's not officially working with Tony, he can work Tony.
Right.
Like he has direct access to Tony Khan in a way that he never had access to Vince McMahon. Because even when him and Vince talked, I don't think Dave was pitching storylines to Vince.
Fuck no.
I think he was. I don't think Vince was taking him, but I think Dave was pitching him.
Nah, I don't believe that at all, Dave.
Absolutely, Dave pitched.
I wouldn't be shocked if it was like, oh, you've got some ideas. I'd love to hear them. Puts him on speaker, mutes it, and then is laughing at him the entire time.
Exactly. Yes, that's what I meant. Yes.
That's good shit, pal. Keep it coming.
Well, I think the worst match you've ever done, was Andre and Hogan.
Dave didn't realize he was getting played until like 2017. Like, I think I'm going to stop calling Vince.
Let me hear what the bill counter has to say on that one. Oh, says you're a mark.
Yeah. No one talks about the fact that Dave Meltzer was the #1 Vince defender during the Ring Boy scandal and stuff like that. Like everyone forgets about that part.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what else did Dave have to say this week? Okay, so first of all, AEW Dynamite under 500,000 this week.
Yeah.
Like we are like 2 weeks ago, we were like, oh, welcome to the under 600,000 era. And now we're in the under 500,000 era.
They called me a madman.
Yeah, you said it awful. You did. David said, Collision did 195K, even worse than against WWE shows on Saturday. Combination of being out at the usual time slot plus competition from 5 college football games, NASCAR, MLB, and soccer. Because we all know how much Americans love soccer. So every wrestling show this week was at or near 2025 lowest level numbers. Number doesn't include Max. What was he? How did he defend the thing about Dynamite though?
He didn't.
He couldn't talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, he was just like, it lost. Like, he had no defense. That's the thing, is that it wasn't even worth pulling. He had nothing. He had
something.
Like
he tried to say that it was
like,
baseball or something. I can't remember.
It lost
Some
to
shit
Beavis
like
and
Little League
Butthead reruns.
Right.
Yeah, it was like, that was the fact, is that it lost to Beavis and Butthead and Family Guy reruns. But he didn't. 2 weeks ago, he said it was Little League. But this week, he was just like, he did say all wrestling is down this week. But he failed to mention that SmackDown and Raw happened at lunchtime. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So, there's a reason they were down.
Different time slots and nights only matter when it happens to AEW.
And to be clear, to our educated followers and friends, we are talking about the 18 to 49 demo exclusively, where they were just terrible.
The whole thing, it's look.
The whole thing is terrible, absolutely.
And you know what? I want to go back because Kev tracked this perfectly, dude. And I tagged you on Twitter. I'm pointing at the screen like you can see me right now. I tagged you on Twitter. And I said, this was Kev, because Kev said, once they go back to school, they're going to drop under 500. He said it, and they did it, and I was just like, wow, that was awesome. So I had to.
There were some awesome games during the weekend as well. Like, I didn't watch any of them, but I heard they were great.
So, Kevin Apollo,
something about the Bills and the Jets or whatever.
Kevin Apollo, you've got to go because you've got a show that you're doing tonight, Late Night with Lauren and Apollo, which I will be joining you guys at 11 p.m. over on the WW Pro channel. But I think you might want to hear this last one before you go. And that is... So Taz, what was Taz's original comment here, Dis?
I had it there. It's the first one.
You don't.
I don't. It did.
No,
okay, so Taz was just answering a question. Oh yeah, it must have jumped out. Anyway, Taz was answering a question saying, "Hey, look, I didn't want this on TV. I wanted to do it off TV. So let's, that was it." And then Dave Meltzer had to chime in and.
So Taz says what he wants for himself and his career. Dave Meltzer, I strongly disagree. I get your sentiment. It's about the future, but sometimes you want to honor and reflect on the past. So then Taz responds, so you're disagreeing with they would have called my moment and how I prefer to have it done? Ha ha! Come on! People watching programming much different than years ago. People can still see it. It's all online. I never want to take TV time from anyone that's still bumping or younger than me, but that's just how I feel for a long time, and that ain't changing. No ego or insecurities from me. How is this guy like? And so then he goes, you have the right, of course. I just felt we'd all want to see it and have the moment. People possibly see a classy moment.
The most people possible.
F up, dude. Like, this guy says what he wants for his career, and you're like, I disagree.
It's like, shut up. Sometimes you just want to do something special for the live crowd. sometimes players get their numbers put in the rafters, and it's not it's not broadcast on TV.
And sometimes you don't want a big part of your legacy put in the hands of a spazoid nepo baby who's going to go on TV in front of everyone and scream to the rafters about how wonderful it is that you work in his company.
Yeah,
with no footage to present to anybody.
That's why Taz didn't want it.
Well, that's why. When Taz inevitably goes back or goes someplace else, if they ever want to talk about this moment, he's not going to have access to his footage. He's going to use a camera, his cell phone camera. So, like at the end of the day, it's not like Dave. First of all, you have nothing to do with wrestling. You've never wrestled. You don't have a say in this. You're a fucking creep who just reports bullshit and happened to do it faster than everyone else did because they were too busy putting out actual magazines and actually enjoying the sport. The holy effing.
And I'll give you guys a little scoop here. Taz was ready for Hook to leave. Taz was ready for Hook to go to WWE.
This is what I wanted to ask the two fathers on this panel. Do you persuade your son, because I know my answer is yes, do you persuade your son, who may be 22, 23, 24, I don't give a fuck how old he is, do you persuade your son to go to the big leagues, or do you persuade your son to fucking step in to the garbage can?
Resign?
That is he
Hook
stayed
resigned.
with AEW. Go ahead.
Yep.
Oh.
I'd love to hear from fathers, Marv,
Hook was
Kev,
Hook had a deal ready, apparently. And Tony kind of got the bag together at the last minute, and it was too big for Hook to turn down. And if that's the situation, it depends on the paycheck. But there is a line where I go, look, man, I think you should go, but I also can't tell you to turn down that money. You got to make that decision.
For how many years? Did he rope him in for 7 years? Or
I don't know.
4 years?
I don't know. But yeah, that's the.
Don't be a dumbass, son. Go to the Fed.
I mean, to be fair, he's 23, or 22.
Yeah, there's plenty of time for him.
Yeah, so if he could get,
oh my god,
if he's getting,
know when the opportunity is there for the taking.
If he's getting a high six figure or something right now, dude,
right?
I'm saying,
what if my son is a fuck up financially? Don't know how to take care of money.
Well, I'm saying I would still tell him you should go to NXT, but I'd also be like, I can't tell you to turn down that money. That's where
I'm not telling him that.
Kevin
your
Apollo,
ass to NXT.
Kevin Apollo.
Sorry.
The floor is yours because you have to go. I'm trying to get you out the door. So give whatever thoughts you want to give, and then plug away for Lord and Apollo.
Well, yeah, it's tough, right? I would say, listen, kid, you got to look at what's going on. There is no equity for your character to be here. But sometimes you got to pull the Okada and just take that money. But at the same time, I would think that you should have enough faith in yourself to gamble on yourself and try to go swim in the big pool. Hook has outgrown that pond. And outside of whatever he's going to learn from being around Joe, I don't really see what the benefit is out of being there other than you get to pad your bank account. But that said, Hook was someone who never really wanted anything to do with wrestling. He was a big-time lacrosse player. And the transition to wrestling was a very last-minute decision. So his mindset is probably very different than a lot of other people's. And when if you've got someone who's saying that I'm going to give you X amount of money to only work a couple times a year, and you also have access to someone like Samoa Joe, I don't know, maybe you do it. I don't agree with the decision, but I also don't think it was a terrible decision. And unfortunately, we don't get Taz in the Hall of Fame like how he did.
Yeah. All right, Kevin, you got.
We're talking about Space Marines, and we're covering some news. So I'll see you guys in 30 minutes.
Yep, see you over there.
Yeah.
All right.
Later,
peace.
Guys.
Moving along. So Nick LoPiccolo actually also mapped out exactly how this supposed AEW smear campaign, this bot campaign against him runs. Because here's the thing about Nick. You notice that Dave Meltzer doesn't respond to him anymore?
Right.
Very rarely.
And Dave Meltzer responds to everyone. He doesn't respond to him, almost like he was told to stop. So he says, here's the visual attack loop for your July 13th to 15 tweets. This clearly, he made this up in ChatGPT, but trigger tweet, AEW WWE commentary that drew attention. Swarm phase. Trolls flooded replies with CPS tags and false arrest records. Authority amplification. Meltzer piled on, framing you as irrational. Legitimization. Trolls escalated, validated by Meltzer's presence. Engagement sustainment. Your clapbacks kept the algorithm feeding it. Outcome. Viral exposure and reputational confusion. The red dash arrow shows how the loop can cycle back once your name is attached to smears. Any commentary risks triggering the same swarm again. So, do you guys think that Tooney actually did some kind of campaign against LoPiccolo?
Yeah, 100%. Dude, this has happened to all of us at one point or another.
Yeah.
And yeah, no. I mean, yes, Tooney did some kind of campaign against LoPiccolo. I was on a campaign to warn LoPiccolo for a while about something that might have been happening. Yeah, he definitely did it. He did something against LoPiccolo. Absolutely.
Yeah. Agreed. So this is when Nick responded to all the thing. He says, Dave was saying, they don't know them. The NBA doesn't even know their MIAX numbers. Producers of TV shows on MIAX and other streaming services don't know their numbers. Confidentiality is their highest, even tougher than getting pay-per-view numbers. This is just the thing we read already.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Dave trolled. What is this?
Okay, so Dave Meltzer has been doing, remember a few weeks, I think it was when you were out, Marv, we pulled where Dave was explaining the Netflix numbers to his fans. He thought he would explain the Netflix numbers. He doesn't understand that people can start watching Netflix and then like stop watching Netflix. He doesn't understand. Yeah, like, he doesn't understand that people can like watch half a show and then not watch the last half, or watch a show twice or rewind. He like his mindset is so stuck in you have to watch it at the exact time. Blah, blah. So his numbers never make any sense
because that's how he watches it,
right?
And
but
his autistic ass can't handle anyone that does anything differently than how he does things.
It's gotten to the point where I am convinced that Brian and the rest of Figure 4 are actually trolling him about this now. And I wanted to show you this video because think about it in the context of Brian is trolling him and see what you come up. Like it's
I mean, every time Brian speaks to Dave Meltzer, he sounds like the kids in elementary school who would try to get me to be like, "Hey Marv, have you seen Predator 6?" Because because I didn't know how many Predator movies there were, and I was lying through my teeth about having seen them.
Yeah, well,
so like that is the way he talks to them. To him. So here we go.
Gave on Monday are actually mathematical impossibilities.
Yes, but I have a question for you.
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you seen Predator 6?
Look at that face.
Like, I know that face.
If we know that these numbers are not real,
Yes.
and we know that
He can't stop himself from laughing.
No. This is what you do. This is the part where you repeat the thing back to them, seeing if they're going to pick up that it's so ridiculous what they're saying.
Yeah. I think I'm with you on this.
they're manipulated every week,
Yes.
why are you even bothering to like follow them? They're fake.
The hours are real. It's easy to track.
Oh, for the love of fuck.
Just wait. It gets so much worse.
I've done the math. The math is perfect. The hours were divided by the runtime.
I've done the math. The math is perfect.
May I say something?
This is the thing that we read last week, or it was like 5 million.
Can I ask a simple question? Who is constructing these tweets?
This is Figure 4. This is his website.
They got us. We're hooked.
Yeah.
We've been hooked. We've been baited. Go ahead.
They're trolling Dave.
They're
What they are
trolling
doing with the
us.
runtime is the manipulation, because they are acting as if, in most cases, they usually act that it's somewhere between. I've seen as low as 4, as high as about 25%.
My math is flawless, Brian.
One show in the early days they were at 80% and 100%. watch live, okay? And then they take the live thing. You know, as it got when you were talking about getting to 15%, 10%.
The fuck is he saying?
It's ridiculous because we know that far more of those people watch live. But this week, of course, they actually had it to where nobody watched. Nobody watched live, and all of you people like me and you that watched hours later and watched commercials, we couldn't have because it wouldn't fit into the thing. The average runtime of that show was 1 hour. The hour, if you divide the two numbers, it's.
Why do I feel like if you go back to Brian right now, he's laughing?
Yeah, absolutely. See, this is what I'm talking about. Is this rage? This is Figure 4. They're trying to be in on the joke now, right? This has to be. There's no way they can't try. This is rage bait. That's all this is now.
They've got to be like, look, this ridiculous old man is so wrong and refuses to admit it. And at this point, we have to just mock him in order to
because the only way they can get shows to watch it and people to cover it is if they make fun of him at this point. Yeah. Because there's nothing like that's how low Figure 4 has gone to what's supposed to be the most respected journalism in professional wrestling to clickbait, rage bait articles. Like that's where they are now.
They're here now.
5 minutes, okay. We all watched that show. Was last week's show. This week's show was 2 hours 46. Last week's show was 2 hours 36 minutes. So that's the manipulation.
Dude, look at the bottom picture. That tells you everything you need to know. Yeah. They are in on the whole thing. So it's almost like heel Lucy. It's almost like you can just say anything, and you're just hoping and praying that somebody picks up on this and makes it viral. This is where we're at now with Dave Meltzer. I hate to be the one, Marv, but I think we're all being trolled. This man can say anything now.
No.
Dave is not in on the joke.
Dave is not in on the joke. 100% Dave is not in on the joke. Right. No way.
Brian is, definitely.
Brian is.
Brian is making fun of him.
Yes.
And Dave will never figure it out. Because his autistic brain
he's too busy answering bots with no followers, dumbass questions.
Yeah, they are basically just making fun of an autistic kid at this point. That's basically what Figure 4 has become. It is so they're in meme territory, except for Dave, who thinks that everything he said is gospel and believes every word.
Perfect.
And I know this because I've been following Dave for 25, 30 years now. Mm-hmm. This is exactly how he's always been. He has always been this way. He thinks that his word is gospel and he will never waver. The only time he ever wavered, he went and decided he was going to become the biggest MMA journalist in the world, right? And that's what he went away. He kind of stepped away from wrestling for a couple of years. But this dude, he thinks he's God in wrestling. He really does.
Can we also talk about how Nick LoPiccolo, in a tweet that we haven't shown here, he showed us exactly where you can get these numbers from. Mm-hmm. These numbers of what WBD pulls in, what Netflix pulls in. It's a site called it's a site called Parrot Analytics.
Yeah, it costs $50,000 to get a subscription.
No. Parrot Analytics is bullshit.
Okay, even if they're bullshit, there are places out there where you can get these real numbers.
Parrot Analytics does not actually measure numbers. Parrot Analytics measures interactions. It measures like how many people are talking about something. So if you mentioned it, Parrot Analytics is the because I covered this for that Park Place. They were the ones that were touting the Acolyte as a success because of how much it was talked about. So if people were saying the Acolyte sucks, they were counting that as people that are talking about the Acolyte, so it must be good.
Well, and to be fair, Nick wasn't saying that you could subscribe to that and get the numbers. Nick was saying that if you wanted better insights and you actually wanted to report news, the first thing you would do is subscribe to a site like them. Which I would say, but I mean, it does cost $50,000 a month. So, it's a little crazy.
Well, and I'm just talking about the things that Parrot Analytics puts out for free.
Oh yeah, no, they have a $50,000 subscription.
Yeah, for a pretty penny, you can get the real deal. But assuming you can get the real deal, But I do want to say, like, Dave is one of those guys that hopes and prays to God above that you do not check out these numbers. It would take a guy like Neil deGrasse Tyson to find out that those numbers are absolute bullshit. No one else in the wrestling sphere is going to take a look at those numbers and see if they can be corrected or if there's something wrong.
That bullshit from BJ Bethel was the single greatest gift Dave Meltzer got all year because it allowed him to just peddle.
And Tony Khan.
Yeah. Well, because Tony Khan has never said that it's gospel. Tony has been like, oh, well, you know, I've seen similar reports, and by that he means
he's referenced it. Report. That's gospel to him.
Yeah,
but it comes down.
Dave Meltzer says AEW gets more than 1 million viewers on Max, or gets more than
500,000. 500,000.
Yeah, gets 500,000 on Max every week. He says that is fact. Tony Khan has never gone as far as to say that is fact.
Yeah. The thing is that it can't be proven wrong, but if it was right, they would report it. If it was right, Tony Khan would be saying this stuff. This isn't a mystery here. You can go to Tony Khan's Twitter page and see exactly what Tony Khan would do if he was getting over 1 million. If he was getting, like Dave Meltzer claims, more viewers than Raw every week, he would not shut up about it.
He wouldn't shut up. Jericho wouldn't shut up. Like it would be a huge thing.
Yeah. So it's just not true. What do you think the numbers are? What do you think Max numbers are? I know Awful has said like 10,000, right?
Yep.
I don't know about 10,000, but
I'd say
10,
closer
000.
to 40. I'd say 30, 40, somewhere around there.
Guys are out of your mind.
But that's it, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's how much they're paying for pay-per-views. 40,000.
Oh, I meant that's it, as in like that's all the numbers.
No, that was awesome, Marv. Perfect job, my friend. That was beautiful.
That's it because I have to get ready to go over to Lord of the Pod.
Oh, okay.
So
see what we talked about earlier, Dis. See what he's
no, guys. So we've got a big show coming up though this weekend because AEW's got a big show coming up this weekend. We are going to
next week.
Next week. You're right. Not this weekend. Next weekend. We are going to be live streaming during All Out, so we hope you guys will join us to see if we're going to be watching the Tony Khan media scrum and just getting drunk and just, you know, saying
crying,
saying terrible things, cursing the wrestling world for forcing us to watch these things. So we're going to watch that, and we're going to watch WrestlePalooza. So so I hope you guys will join us for that on the 21st, right?
The 20th
or the 20th?
It's the Saturday.
Yeah. But Super chats here. John Williams for 199 says, "Listen to Kevin. This man kills bears for fun." I don't know if it's fun as much as it's a necessity. Regina Sharp for $5 says, "Listen to Kevin. This man kills bears for fun. Think about it."
The hell?
CWJ 128 for $5. In regard to AEW pay-per-view numbers, does any independent source saying that AEW is doing great in pay-per-view, saying these recent pay-per-views are doing great is laughable? We haven't heard anything about like pay-per-view buys in a long time. Tony used to tout them, didn't he?
So Dave does have the numbers for the pay-per-views, and apparently they're doing good for AEW. Like it's like in the 100K range, you know. So it's not terrible, but at the same time, it's like when you're trying to push that this company, like I said, he's pushing that they do better than WWE weekly. So to claim that and then look at 100K buys, it's very dishonest.
I don't believe they get 100,000 buys.
John Williams for $4.99 says, "Remember when Ryder said his best career moment was winning the IC title at Mania, only for Dave to freak out saying that it wasn't?"
Yes.
Yeah, we all remember that. Also, Liquid Fox for $2 says, "Brian is literally doing that SpongeBob meme." AEW Neckbeards, Mod Extraordinaire out there in the chat with you guys for $2 Canadian says, "Sorry I'm late. We love you, buddy."
You're fired.
So, no, you're not. But apparently I messed up Regina Sharp's joke. I'm sorry. I try. I really do try with these. Sometimes it's hard to get the.
See, that's why you didn't get 100 this week. That's why you didn't get 100 this week.
It is curtains from here on out.
Seriously. Oh, and this just went.
All right. Yeah. Alvin.
All
Simon,
right, guys.
Theodore.
Awful. Check out Awful's channel, Awful Wrestling, here on YouTube. What do you got coming up?
Listen, only Marv will understand my pain right now. I am halfway done the next episode.
I get it.
Yeah, totally. But
You should be getting them out sooner.
Yeah.
Screw everything else with your life.
Right.
We want. Give. Now.
So true. You can check us out right here on Tooney Talk Wrestling. Me and Thursday. Me and Dis will be online Thursday talking about, I believe it's going to be trolls, bots, and AEW. But we'll see about that. We'll argue about that on the back chat on what we want to talk about. But yeah, also every Tuesday right here on Tooney Talk Wrestling. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, guys, check out Tooneytown TV over there, our sister channel. We've been putting out regular videos for the last week or so. We had one today about Ryan Reynolds not stepping foot on the Avengers set. One yesterday about a rumor that Robert Downey Jr. has threatened to quit if the Avengers script is not fixed. And of course, we got Tooney Talk TV coming up on Thursday at 8 p.m. It's probably not a real rumor. So.
Oh, okay. I heard that they hired everybody and didn't come up with a goddamn script.
They still don't have a script. Yeah, they're filming. They've been filming for 5 months and they still don't have a completed script.
Oh my fuck.
Yep, it's gonna be a nightmare. All right, guys. So next week, guys, I think we're gonna kick off the show with the Monet Mag, so that because I say we're gonna get to it every week, and then we never have time for it. So next week for sure, Monet Mag, and we will make sure Awful is there for it. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you everyone in chat, everyone in super chat, everyone who hung out. Make sure you check out Lauren and Apollo tonight over on the WW Pro channel. From all of us here at the Tooneytown channels, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!
Now, bury the platypus. Feel the wrath of my thank you-inator.
Thank you, you piece of trash.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you! Oh, I suppose you want me to say thank you. Well, you know what? Saying thank you is like jobbing. Thank you! I got a little message. Thank you. Ooh, yeah! Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
Thanks for what? Hi-ho from all of us here at Tooneytown. Thank you.
And viewers like you. Thank you.